No, this is the theater, so to speak.
Yeah, man, totally. Do you have to do anything on your end for recording, or is it just me? Like, I just hit record and like,
I don't think
you
so.
sure?
Oh, wait, I do. I think I have to okay it.
Okay.
Good?
Yeah, we're on. So we're recording right now, but we can cut like the first couple minutes out since we'll just
Yeah,
move into it.
sure, of course, man.
Just go off the cuff like a normal talk as if there's no camera.
That works for me, man. Like that's all I ever do anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably have to like maybe not go into full detail on certain things like the last talk, but we'll be good.
Yeah, like keep
Yeah,
this
man.
it obviously. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, dude. You get it.
Well, cheers to you.
Yeah, man. I won't be drinking, but oh well.
I'll
You,
I'll make up the difference for both of
yeah, yeah, you got to make up the difference. So I guess I mean it feels kind of weird to do this, but I guess I'll address you to the channel. Like if anybody doesn't know, this is Chuck Sherwood from Incantation, Balefire, and you also have Occupancy or sorry, I
you.
probably mispronounced that. Yeah. Um,
Occumancy. So, like, if you have
Occumancy.
necromancy, occumancy, yeah, that's another one.
Yeah. And you were in Bloodstorm, which is an important band to mention too. And I'm pretty sure all those albums are getting reissued right now. Pretty sure. Think I saw
Um,
some.
I don't know. I know that maybe like about a year or so ago, there was I think if Pestilence from the Dragon Star was going to make its way onto vinyl, and there was talks of maybe Ancient Wraith of Coup, but I have
Yeah.
not followed up, so that's my own fault.
Mhm.
I don't know. But if that is the case,
Yeah.
then more power to them.
Yeah. Do you get any, not that it matters, but do you get any like, you get any check for old stuff you were a part of when stuff like that happens? Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. No, I mean, the powers that be, whether it be ASCAP or pros accounts and things like that, it's marginal. I mean, what was the last figure?
Yeah.
They
Totally.
0.003 cent per song.
Yeah.
And I was in projects previous to that as well that will never, it's not even a matter of being monetary at this point. It's just an impossibility. So I don't even labor under the delusion of it.
Yeah, totally. It's pure passion, obviously. It's not about the money. I mean,
No, we
but
if that was
a
the
lot of
case,
other
we'd be
things
doing
you
like,
could do.
cover bands or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I bet a lot of cover bands make a lot more money than like originals. I mean, if you're playing stuff that everybody loves, I mean, that's just easy to take in, than getting new material.
Yeah, I mean, you're essentially like a live jukebox for drunks. They love it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Um, so like and then you've been in a few other bands too. I didn't see like some of those bands I didn't see you on any of the releases though. Like when I looked into it, like you just
Okay.
played live or something with those other bands or just
Which in particular, I'm sorry.
I can't remember all of them because there was just a whole list of bands that you used to be a part of at one point. I mean, you could have only been there in a day maybe, and that band said you were a part of their band.
Oh,
So I don't know.
no,
So,
yeah, I
well,
can't help it
I guess if you
then.
don't
Yeah,
remember that
no,
answers it if you don't
yeah.
remember it.
I mean, there was also other projects. I was in briefly with Namtaru and Perverse Wrath. I obviously played for Bloodstorm for nigh on a decade.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people don't know Bloodstorm, and it's like that would be a good band to get into, for sure. And I mean, if you got reissues coming out, you're probably gonna get a whole new set of people that are discovering that stuff. So
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, obviously,
yeah,
I value the tenure that I had with them, and a lot of good times, a lot of good memories.
yeah,
some of my first experiences, like touring and the like, was all through them. Yeah, I mean, it
Yeah,
was
that's crazy.
24 years ago now. It would have been in '01. And it was trials and tribulations, but a lot of things that I think were fantastic and great
Yeah.
for the first experience. Some crazy stuff too. I remember distinctly
Yep.
we met a girl that was through a work release program. She was uh, uh, I guess she was on parole or whatever the case may be, and she was working at a bowling alley, and she was very, very much
Mm.
into the I think it was the guitarist of the one band that we were touring with, and she was all about him. And lo and behold,
Mhm.
as time went on, cops are looking for her because she never called in, and you know, they're like not raiding the
Damn.
hotel, but definitely there was a presence. And by that point, we had all pretty much like degraded into, madness from the amount that we were drinking. And I remember walking into a room and one dude was puking on a Bible, the other guy spitting on the TV. There was somebody throwing chunks of hot dogs all around the hallway and throwing ice from the ice maker down the hallway. And then cops are coming the other directions. We're running down,
Wow.
the fire stairwell as they're looking for this chick who's apparently with that guy. And, you know, you can't pay for those kind of experiences.
Oh man. No, no, no. That does make themselves. I mean, holy shit. But
Yeah.
that's really cool. And what was like what kind of inspired Bloodstorm to go in that direction of the music? Like, were you guys inspired by any bands particularly with that stuff, or was it
Yes, I
just
mean,
completely just you guys just went for it? You wanted to make Savage just pure metal.
well, all of this is very much Chris Gamble's baby. Like this was
Mhm.
the idea from the very start. It was his influences, obviously being translated into the music that was then presented to us, and then we would perform. In later times, there was contributions, but I would say as a
Definitely.
whole, it is Chris's band through and through, 100%.
Okay, cool. Yeah, but I'm assuming you really like that type of stuff, right? Like,
Oh, I was a fan of it before I was a member. That's what that.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
cool,
and
man.
because they
I
were
mean, it's
local. I'm sorry.
no, keep going, keep going.
Because they were local to me, and we had the option and opportunity at the time to see them when they would practice and things like that. And I remember buying like a demo T-shirt and buying cassettes at the time. Was genuinely a fan of it. Yeah, I liked it. And as years progressed and friendships developed and the like, and obviously one thing led to another, and we worked together for all those years. And you know, yeah, it was a joy. Yeah.
Yeah,
A very occult oriented, very old school, related. Um, and all the influences would get, put into the music. And I don't, I wouldn't necessarily nothing's plagiarized per se. We just made it our own. And that was,
no.
again, to Chris's credit, so.
Yeah, it's definitely got a lot of uniqueness to it, in its own right, So I would recommend everyone watching get into the Bloodstorm stuff because it's good shit. I mean, it really is. And I haven't heard a single album where I was like, oh, this isn't good. It's like it's all good shit. I mean, that's the good stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad you
So
like it, man. That's cool.
yeah, totally. And also, so let's talk about Occumancy because that's a band that I'm not honestly very familiar with. So like, do you want to like talk a little bit about that one too? Just put it out there.
Um, So like when other projects have surfaced over the time, some
Mhm.
had minimal effort. Do you know what I mean? Like somebody would present to me with a project and order to
Yeah, it's
track.
just ready to go.
like a ready to go thing. Yeah. So this
Mm.
was originally an idea from all the way back in 2012. It was we were on tour in Brazil with Immolation at the time, and uh,
Good company.
I'm sorry.
I said good company.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, very uh, amazing people and exceptional musicians too. I mean, just an all-around great experience too for, I mean, as touring experiences go, that was one of the more fonder memories too, was that one. I mean, it was amazing. But there was talks on a shuttle ride from the airport of creating 7 inches that each of us individually as members would create our own lineup. And at the time, Kyle had his mutual friends and his lineup created, and they were going to do a 7 inch. And then he said, "Well, why don't we all do one, and it'll be kind of emulating like that Kiss, the individual albums, solo albums,
Mm.
like your Gene Simmons, Ace Frehley, whatever. Like we would do
Yeah,
that
yeah.
as an in-can related function into like a box set where the 4 7 inches that are in there were created by us individually with our own lineups. Is how the
Dude, I love that idea, honestly. It's cool.
and it was unique enough to where it was like, all right, well, I've never had my own lineup and I've never created one on my own. So, nose to the grindstone, let me write something. So I wrote a
Mm.
couple songs and they kind of got shelved. We were doing other things, other tours, other albums presented themselves. And lo and behold, Kyle's project ended up developing into what became Shed the Skin. So now they are like five.
Fucking great stuff too. Like,
Oh, they're like a
wow.
super group. Yeah.
Man, that's good shit. I won't get into it too much.
No, I couldn't agree more, man. Like
Yeah.
the that is a super group.
Yeah.
They're just their talent is beyond compare,
What
really.
a cool mix of styles in that band too. Like not a
Mhm.
lot of bands doing stuff that sounds like that at all.
No,
Very stand
not
out.
to my knowledge. Like they have a knack of creating something extremely dynamic. It doesn't have to be super notey, but they're powerful. There you go. It's
Yeah.
really strong material, and I love it.
Yeah, me too.
And they asked me to write lyrics for them, which I've done almost all of it. And at the time, I just had those 2 songs, but as Kyle's developed into an actual band that was releasing things, I thought, yeah, you
Mhm.
know what? I've shelved this for long enough. Let me just apply myself to it, write a little bit more, and then I can make an EP out of it. And what it was is that if necromancy is the magic of the dead, mine was the occumancy or the magic of the eye. So it was the third eye, and it was dreams. And you could say like, oh, are they prophetic, or oh, are they they from an outside force, or was it because you had bad chili, like. Whatever the reasoning behind it, if it's something that couldn't be attributed to my daily life, or something that was reoccurring and ended during something that was traumatic, would you say that was prophetic, or would you just say it was a matter of circumstances, consequences, or whatever? So I
Mhm.
liked the fact that it was not easily explained, and that's what I put into those songs. So they were either reoccurring dreams or, things that were like extremely, extremely personal. And
Mhm.
I think that the only song that's left online right now is the third song is the Cynosure, the Inner Ecliptic. It's like a relationship that I had to the Capricornus star system because I'm a Capricorn. Like I can't
Okay.
beat around
Yeah.
the bush with that. And it was also known in certain texts as being the Augean stable, which would mean it was like a collection of filth and sin and everything that would get washed clean because we're at the end of the year. So if you're at the end of the year, zodiac wise or cosmically, that you would just cleanse yourself and then welcome into the next year. So it was like my collection of filth. And it takes 39 years for the light of that star to reach our planet. And when I wrote the song, I was 39. So there's
Wow.
another like correlation with it. And it was very, very deeply rooted into, again, a subconscious kind of situation, which is always shifting, always moving. You know, you could have a dream where you pick up your glass and all of a sudden it turns into who knows what, and then flowers come out of it and a koala shits a rainbow. And you know what I mean? Like it can
Yeah.
go into a billion different ways.
No,
And
you're great at coming up with that stuff. Yeah.
it just goes, and you don't have a
Yeah.
choice in the you know in the nature of it, and that's what I wanted the music to do then as well, is to be ever
Mhm.
shifting and ever changing, and holding
It's a
all the elements.
really, really nice way to write things, I think, too. It's amazing, you know. I think I'm sorry to kind of interrupt your thing, but
Oh,
I've actually, when I'm writing lyrics for myself, I actually took some points from you. You know, you've kind of helped me think of ideas outside of the box.
well, that's cool, dude.
Yeah,
Nice.
totally.
It's like I'm bad with numbers, but I like words. So
Yeah.
I look
Well,
at even math like philosophically. 1 and 1 is 11.
okay, yeah. Yeah. That's cool, man. It's just a different way of looking at it for sure.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that as a whole, when I applied so very, very much into that project to have it be a complete wash and utter failure in a lot of ways, between the powers that be, um, poor judgment, and others that were involved, it surfaced as a digital format long before the physical had, which negates anything physical now, because why would you if you could just, have the convenience of popping on the computer, right? Um,
Yeah.
and when I found product, it was completely wrong. Was not given the green light on anything, so nothing turned out the way that I wanted it to.
Wow.
I had to buy my own material in order to give it to the people that were involved in the writing and I'm sorry, not the writing, but the recording of it, because I had six different guest guitar soloists, so that each song was unique. Um, I had Alex Book's Immolation, Gorephobia, and our old, guitars from Incan, of course. And
Mhm.
Alex and I are very close friends, and I've known him since high
That's
school.
awesome, man.
Yeah, like it was
Yeah,
it was
he's a really cool guy. Like I said, I met him once when I met Immolation. Just really cool guy.
yeah, he's the man. And
Yeah.
I had also like two brothers. They were friends of mine since, again,
Uh-huh.
high school. I've known him forever. And Nick is actually the guitarist that played on all the rhythm on the album. Um,
Nice.
and he did a phenomenal job, way more than I could have done. And our drummer was Frank Schilperut from God Dethroned, and
Yeah, it's
we had done tours together when he was in Funerus, and then he also came on as a Incantation session drummer for a time for a few tours as well. And yeah, just one of the greatest guys in the world, and also an exceptional engineer, because if it wasn't for his hands being involved in it, it would not have been released. So I owe him a lot too for that. He did an amazing job. But
yeah.
I don't know if
It
you'll be able
sounds
to
like
hear
how
it.
Charlie's been to me.
I'm sorry.
It sounds how Charlie's been treating me with my stuff. Just
Yep.
couldn't have done it without him.
Yeah, I probably stated this to you before, but Charlie is probably one of the best drummers I ever played with. He's exceptional.
Man,
Uh, near
I couldn't
flawless.
fucking believe it when I got into the studio with Charlie. Dude, holy fuck. Like it's not like playing with another drummer. It's like, okay, like this is the drummer. Like this dude's the shit.
Yeah.
My God, man. He was just figuring out parts that I would present him like brand new shit, pretty
hmm
complicated,
hmm
just nothing.
Yeah,
Fucking
no,
nothing.
effortless.
Like
Yeah. Uh,
crazy, man.
I sent him a project that was a posthumous release to a late friend of mine, and we had two of the
Oh, yeah.
previous members involved with it as well. Like in the late
Mhm.
'90s, early 2000s, a band called Algol, and that was Dan
Yeah.
Christopher's band back then. And I was super close with JR and Dan.
Mhm.
And they used to come out and play Bloodstorm shows with us back in the day and everything too. Like nicest dudes in the world. Um, and then drugs because they're great.
Yeah.
And he OD'd about probably about 8 years ago now. Our friend Max, who is in Zalbarai, like a black metal project, local in PA, and it's
Hmm.
all based about like Pennsylvania Dutch Hexen isms. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
the real like Germanic witchcraft. And he played all the guitars on it after recovering the hard drive from Dan's parents' house. But when we gave it to Charlie, oh, 2 days, maybe three max. Just ripped it up and out the door it went. And that was it,
Yeah.
and he nailed it, obviously.
Yeah.
You know,
I think he's like one of those prodigies for sure. Definitely. I
oh,
think.
without a doubt. Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's not a one-trick pony either. I mean, the guy is extreme.
Oh,
He
oh
does.
man. I mean, damn, like fits any mold. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I give him a lot of credit, and I owe him a lot too. We wouldn't have made that come into fruition without him. And I'm
Awesome.
very proud of it. It's a good lasting tribute, not just to his memory, but also for his son, who will never know him, and
Yeah. Something to be proud of.
and also for his father, Dave, who encouraged him, right from the start, to pursue music and the like. And
It's awesome.
yeah, I'm glad that it finally came out. So.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's a very cool story, man. And then not to jump too all over the place, but then what's going on with your other band? If I'm correct, your newest band, Balefire, right? That's the newest one, right? The most
Um,
recent.
Actually, as of last weekend, also season of the
Oh
Dark.
yeah. Dude,
Yeah,
I was meaning to bring that up. I'm glad you mentioned it.
yeah, that
I
was
think the connection's fucked.
yeah. Oh, is it all right or did it?
All right.
Okay,
We
now
had
we're
we had a
good.
little
All
hiccup.
right,
I'm glad it I got I'm glad it recovered though.
good deal.
I
Good deal.
I was just saying I'm glad you brought up Season of the Dead because I wanted that was a whole nother thing. Yeah.
That was actually the second
Mhm.
time that I worked with Tita Tani, who used to play for Necrophagia for a time, but also did
Yeah.
Claudio Simonetti's Goblin, Lucio Fulci compositions.
Yeah.
I
That's
played the
wicked.
score to Zombie through Horror Legacy, and after that got released and everything, which was bucket lister. Now
Mhm.
comes this new project, and Tita's like, "You interested?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And uh, tabbed it out and tracked it and you know kind of put it in the back burner. I wasn't really focusing on it, and all of a sudden, voila, there's a release of it. So it's like, oh, it's even and the reaction's been fairly positive, which is nice too.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that stuff that I heard was really good. I thought all the instrumentals sounded really good. The production was just right. It wasn't overproduced, but you could still hear everything. And
Mhm.
I thought John's vocals actually fit the band really fucking well. Like
I
he's
apologize
good
for
at
not
that
mentioning
stuff.
him. Yeah, like I'm really sorry for not mentioning him sooner. Yes, like
No,
because
it's okay.
he nailed it. You know what I mean? Like when he
Yeah.
does those higher registers,
Oh, really
and
good.
those gag screams and everything, like he really brings out the killjoy, and it's like it's nice to hear that, and it's also outside of his normal range. You know what I mean? Like he was definitely
Definitely, yeah.
approaching this with the with the necrophagia-esque intent, and
Yeah.
it shows, which is cool.
It's very cool that he changes it up for doing that material. And
Hmm.
you can kind of hear those vocals cutting through a little bit on like Primordial Domination and stuff and
Yes.
like that. And I
Agreed.
think that's cool. I don't want to get too deep into that, but I've always thought that was cool because I think every incantation vocalist has had something pretty distinct about them.
Oh, wholly unique. All of them
Yeah.
actually.
I
Yeah.
really actually liked Mike Sayers too. I thought he was
Yeah,
a
Mike's
great
great.
vocalist. Yeah, I thought he did great for the band. Fit
Yes.
it great.
Yeah, we
Daniel Parchado too. I mean,
oh yeah, well, yeah, Daniel's just
very unique.
yeah. I mean, all the stuff from, Chasm and Cenotaph and stuff, like the guys, yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
that gloomy reflection record, man.
mm,
That's all time like one of the best ever in my book. Just
I
fucking
remember,
perfect.
we had the fortune of hanging out with Mike one time for Maryland Death Fest actually, and he came up and sang a couple songs with us. And
Oh,
that
that's awesome.
show, Alex came up and played Ibex Moon and Diabolical Conquest with us that year too. I remember.
Sweet. That's
Yeah,
really cool. Yeah. I've always liked the idea of bringing back old members on and like doing little snippets here and there of a
yeah, it
show.
was, like it was a joy. Yeah, like to have like Alex back obviously, and to be honest, like I didn't have the opportunities in the past of playing with Mike and everything, so to have him on stage with us and everything,
Yeah, that must have been cool
real
too.
joy. Oh, without a doubt. It's like the same feelings I had when I first joined the band and playing with Jim and Craig and stuff. Like
Well, dude,
it was
that's a crazy level when you're playing with Craig and Jim. Like, wow,
it.
that's
I'll never forget it. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
it was a real joy, and you know. I mean, we even had Craig come in when we played a show. It was a benefit show, I believe. Oh crap! How horrible am I? It was a guy that had passed away, sadly. I did not know him personally, so that I guess
Hmm.
would be only my only lame excuse right now for not remembering his name, which is awful. But we did have Craig up there, and he sang Nocturnal Dominium with us, and I think Devoured Death, and
Sweet.
it was yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, that must have been cool as being a fan of the band from that era when those guys were in the band, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Without a doubt, like definitely my high
yeah,
school days were, consumed by that lineup, like those two first releases were paramount.
yeah. Well, I guess this makes a good segue to start talking about incantation.
Oh, yeah,
It's
sure.
kind of just automatically happen.
Uh,
So,
yeah.
yeah, go ahead. You wanted to say anything?
Oh, as in like how it happened, you mean?
Just fucking everything, man. It looks like let's get into it.
Okay. Um,
Um, maybe we could start with like let's go back before you're even in the band though. Let's start with how exact like what was the moment where you were like this band is the shit. Like this I love this band. Like just totally over the moon for this band.
so back in the day, we used to go to Tower Records all the time, and there was um, there was a dude, Frank from Deteriorate, used to work at the Tower Records in Philadelphia, and
Mhm.
he used to, usher us, high school kids to like the Jail America booth or, to the relapse area, section or whatever. Well, they didn't even have a section back then. It was just essentially like the underground stuff. You know what I mean? And he was a great inspiration for, not inspiration, but almost like he was a great purveyor. There you go. He would just say,
Yeah.
dude, you got to check this out, and before you know it, you're going home with like, Beherit or something and going like, this is
Oh yeah.
insane, or whatever the case may be at the time. And also doing a lot of like blind buying, grabbing like,
Yeah.
I think I grabbed like Balsagoth album one time, and I was just like, ugh, I'm not a fan of this,
Yeah.
and that was very commonplace for those things,
Yeah.
and you didn't have enough money to buy all of it, obviously, and there was no internet or anything, so you just pretty much like scrounged what you could and got what you got.
Yeah,
And
cool album cover, right? Just
sometimes, yeah, sometimes it
yeah.
was just nothing more than a cover, or maybe sometimes a recommendation.
Yeah.
I remember going there one time and I liked the first Deicide album, but lo and behold, when I looked on this cart that was being drugged through the aisles, that was Legion, but it was the day it came out, and I didn't know. I was like, "What the hell is that?" And they're like, "It's
Oh
now."
yeah.
You
Well,
know,
that's an album cover that kind of screams "Listen to me," right? I mean, to
I
me, just
had to buy it, and I was not disappointed. I was just like, "This album's insane." Like I
I
love it.
can't imagine hearing Legion in '92. That's a record, man. That's a
Oh, it
record
was,
right
yeah, it
there.
was out of control, and it was first introductions to like Grave and Immolation and Morbid Angel and Cannibal Corpse and all your Florida Boom, your
Some of the
Malevolent
Swedish stuff.
Creation. Yeah, sure, all of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we just bought it, and for my distinct memory was that we were on the porch of a friend's house at the time,
Mhm.
battery powered radio sitting out front. And I didn't have it. My friend had it. I think he had it on cassette, perhaps, because I did buy it on CD, so he must have had it on tape. Um, yeah, put it on and dun 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 dun, and our brains melted out of our ears. We're just like, what the fuck is this? And
The best intro ever, man.
it sounded like the end of the world. We were like, this is great. And
Amazing.
just leaped right in headlong into it. Like, they got anything else? No, this looks like it's it.
Yeah.
And I went and got a relapse catalog, and
Mhm.
I remember that they had like a clearance sale or something, and they had the old Entrapment of Evil 7-inch long sleeve shirt, which I still have, believe it or not. Um, and it was like $10.
Yeah. That's sick.
I bought
Actually,
Hava Hedge, the Black Mist picture disc 7-inch.
ooh, dude, nice. That's a killer picture disc.
Dude, it was.
I've been trying to get that one actually for a while.
I think I paid like $2 for it, maybe $5, maybe at the time.
Never happened now.
No, no, it was a clearance sale at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my very first time hearing them, and subsequent years we played with them in '98 in Milwaukee when I was with the Bloodstorm guys.
Hmm.
It was also the same tour for Formula's Fatal to the Flesh from Morbid Angel. So I was
Yeah.
essentially seeing them everywhere we went. So I ended up seeing them in like Asbury Park. I saw them at that November to Dismember, one of the old Jack Koshik subsidiaries that didn't, really come into fruition except for that one time.
Hmm.
There was a March Metal Meltdown. Uh, Yeah, it always just seemed like Incantation and Morbid Angel were there always. So that was a really great experience to see that.
Oh yeah, man.
And
You
then,
got to experience the golden age of death metal. I
oh
mean,
yeah, yeah, it was really something else. And to
yeah.
be honest, I think that we were gravitating more into the black metal world at that time, so weren't
Yeah,
giving
yeah,
it,
totally.
the full attention that it probably deserved. And that is the
Yeah.
truth, like at least between my friends and I and bandmates and everything, we just were.
Well, that's kind of a cool thing that I would like to divulge in a little bit is like okay, so you were into death metal, but what kind of took you on the path of black metal a little bit off kilter from death metal? Like what captivated you about black metal and what were some like bands that captured you?
um it's going to sound silly nowadays just because you have to consider the mindset of somebody that's younger and more pissed off is
Mhm.
that between my friends and I, we were just glad that somebody took it seriously.
Yeah.
I know that's not really a very favorable opinion as of nowadays, whether it's
Well,
due
I like when people take music. For me, I like when people take their music seriously. I like when they're like not assholes outside of their music, but I
Sure.
like when I see a death metal band, it's like I want you to be hateful on stage and stuff. Like I don't really care if that makes me sound edgy. I want the aggression from death metal. you know?
No, I mean, I had an old girlfriend that used to say, you always look like you're so mad up there. It's because I am.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm very fucking pissed up there, and it's my outlet. You know,
yeah, totally, man.
I'm not an angry person, all the time. But if you just put it up there and you're pissed off, then why not? You
Yeah,
know,
totally, man.
uh,
And I think I've always thought that it's just hard to take bands seriously if they don't take themselves seriously at all, like a little bit.
yeah. I mean, it's
There's a few exceptions, of course, obviously.
sure. It has limits, but it also should be in there too. If you're
Mhm.
constantly making a joke out of things, then it certainly it doesn't have a place in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like the reason that we're in the metal is because of it being extreme and being raw or being underground or whatever
Agreed.
kind of, connotations you want to put onto it. But the reality is that it was being against the grain, you know.
Yeah.
It's just the way it goes.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
you know, we're not we're not that. All the time, you know.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely not. But when I'm writing music, it's like, well, I want the presentation to be legit, you know?
Oh, of course.
I get
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it's it's kind of, I mean, I don't listen, I've never listened to an Incantation record and like been like, wow, this makes me laugh. Like you don't laugh at
Yeah, I'd hope not.
it. No, that's my point though. It's
Yeah,
like it's not really, there's nothing funny about it, and it's kind of serious. It's pretty serious music if you like get in the right headspace to listen to it the way it's presented.
sure.
But
That's something that John's repeated on a numerous occasion that we all feel the same way is that
oh
it's the atmosphere, it's the feeling of it. Do you know what I mean? How do you,
yeah,
feel in this expression? And if the expression is violent and brutal and, you know, inhumane, then yes, that's
yeah,
that's just the way it's going to have to be.
yeah, and maybe maybe that's part of. I'm guessing what drew you to black metal was the atmosphere, probably. Just
Obviously, dependent upon which band, you could say musicianship because, regardless of the more primitive nature of that genre, it doesn't mean that it's untalented because of its primitive nature. It's the same that we would take.
I fully agree.
Yeah, it's like the same we would take from like Hellhammer, for example, like
Mm,
teenagers that didn't necessarily know, how to play their instruments, but they knew what to do with them. So
yeah,
they made these songs that
effective.
are just as wretched as they were, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
And,
They were good enough to where the music wasn't actually just noise. It was
oh,
music.
no, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd say the
And
same about Sodom and stuff. I mean, like,
sure, same thing, same exact thing.
that's the best shit ever, right? Like,
No, I love it. Yeah, without a doubt.
yeah.
They could be like three or two riff tunes and it still doesn't matter. Uh,
Yeah, sloppy as hell. Doesn't matter.
sure. Even early
Yes.
Bathory for that matter, like you just kind of pick a riff and just run with it. And that's great. I mean, it was, if it's not just an inspiration for us all, it's also an inspiration for all the other bands that we ended up getting inspired by too. So if it's like second or third generation into it, they had to have something going right, you
Yeah,
know, and
definitely.
it worked. But then you could also have your most extreme of technicalities and stuff, and all of that has a place too. But it's a fine line you walk down. You either go the ultra primitive or the ultra technical. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah. I think
In the middle.
Incantation is in a good in between there,
Hmm.
honestly, you
Yeah.
know.
If we decide to go the primitive route and everything,
Yeah.
it's that mutual like mean mug, and we're all like
Yeah.
because it's a great
Yeah.
sounding riff, and
Well, that's why I always kind of thought Golgotha was cool. It's primitive, but when you look at the tabs and when you play it, it's not easy music to play at all. It's not at all. I
mm-mm.
mean, I've always said that Incantation doesn't get enough credit for just how technical some of the songs are because some of that shit I have a harder time playing than like a Suffocation song, to be honest with you. And not everybody gets that, but it's just how it
There's
is.
a feeling that John puts into his riffs, and I'm going to quote Kyle now, is like he's the Iommi of death metal. You know, he can just
Yeah.
find a way to manipulate those notes and hang on something a little bit longer than normal. Might just kind of throw it off just a little bit, or start in the middle of a riff where a count should be, and then when the next count comes around, it actually starts.
Yeah.
And like just those little elements that when they get combined into the soul of its, or the song in its entirety, phew,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he really is a wholly unique songwriter.
Yeah.
Never played with anybody like him before, or
Yeah.
like he's just
Yeah,
he.
Charlie was saying that too. He was saying that it's just so unconventional and like how when John writes, like there will be these parts that are just like, whoa, so, like I don't know how to explain it exactly, but you just play it more or less times than you could predict, like when like take a song like Demonic Incarnate, right?
Perfect example.
It's not one of the hardest incantation songs in my opinion.
Hmm.
But like getting that song correct is hard. It's tough. Like it's just like
Like we
and
even
the
would
hardest part of
struggle.
the hardest part of the song in my opinion is the slow part, honestly, because it's
Oh,
like
really? Okay.
yeah, for me because remembering how many times I have a lot of trouble remembering like when stuff isn't like perfectly 4/4 or whatever. Like
Okay.
it's
Okay.
tough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that is a pure feeling song. But for
Oh.
me, there's the riff. I think it's like the third riff in is it's just bonkers. It's like it hangs and then it trills. So it's like da 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 da, da then it slides
Oh
in
yeah, the
and it's like da 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 da, like
that's
that
a tricky
whole
one. Yeah.
it's like it's almost derailed, but it's not. And
Yeah.
that is just another testament to his approach to things where it's like it doesn't have to be, it's not rigid, it moves, it flows. And that's why when playing, especially with Incan and everything, is that like our worst enemy will be click tracks.
Hmm.
We're not on a grid like that. It moves, it hesitates.
Yeah.
There's that human interaction, that, becomes a more organic, an organic jam into what would become a finalized, product where like that's what we're doing right now is that we've finalized a lot of new material, but playing them as a band multiple times and having a real feel for the flow of these songs, it definitely is a million times better,
Oh yeah.
and
And
you
I
can
think
even,
that's something that
you know,
I think it's something that a lot of new bands need to do more, honestly, because I don't want to I'm not going to throw anything under the bus or anything, but even as someone who's pretty young, obviously, I have a hard time finding a lot of newer bands that I love. Like it's kind of few and far between, basically, even at my age, because I just find a lot of stuff to be so formulaic and like just done like just it's like too perfect. There's not any soul to it, kind of thing.
it's
It's like just rigid,
rigid.
just yeah, right there.
Yeah,
So
I agree
yeah.
with that.
And I think something that's kind of lost in death metal personally with a lot of bands is getting too mathematical about the music. Like just
Yeah.
and then it kind of turns into a science more than an art at some point. And
Yeah, that was a danger, I think, for like I used to take lessons when I was younger and used to do theory and things of that nature. And then I started to deviate from that into doing what I wanted to do and how I wanted to create, music on my own without the, I don't know, without the confines, I guess is probably the best way to say
Mhm.
it, because I've played with people that become very theory oriented, that are so used to scales and progressions and intervals and whatever, and circle of fifths, and
Yeah,
they but they don't apply it to what they're creating. It becomes their only creation.
yeah. They
Where
have to follow the guidelines.
sure. Like, if you're playing and all of a sudden it's like, well, move this a half step down because they can hear that, and if they're looking at it and go, well, it's not right. Well, there is no right and wrong. And it shouldn't really be, something that limits you. Whereas they would say, well, because you have no knowledge of this, you're being limited, that you could do 1,000 times more. But it's what you take from it.
Yeah,
If I don't want those attributes, put into it, and neither does anybody else in the band, then for me to learn it would then force my hands literally into I have to do it this way always. And that's not helpful, at least in my opinion. Um,
I kind of agree too. I come from the camp of Eddie Van Halen, man. Just create shit.
mhm,
Right? One of the best guitar players ever,
ever.
and plenty of interviews. Like, what are you doing there? I don't fucking know what I'm doing. I just play.
Yes. Yeah, and that kind of stuff is well, it's a testament to it. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
obviously it worked.
Mhm.
And there's a many a times if you were to look at pieces of music or whatever, and they'll have all of your chords above the measures or whatever to tell you what key you're in, and then it'll just say like, NC because there's no chord because we don't know what the fuck they're doing. It didn't need it.
Yeah.
It just
Super
doesn't.
awesome.
If you're listening to something, an old producer used to say, like, you have asshole notes, and that was because John would create a harmony that's not supposed to work, but it does. And, you throw the asshole notes in there, and guess what? It works. You know, uh,
Yeah.
if I'm writing something on my own and I decide to throw more open strings into the mix or whatever, and it gives it like a darker feel to it or whatever, I don't know if it's in key or not. I have no idea. You know,
Yeah. But it's gonna sound good to the death metal crowd. I mean,
I mean, and first and foremost is ourselves. If you play it for us and we all go,
yeah,
all right, we'll scrap that one, but like, what about this? And yeah, it sounds pretty cool. And okay,
definitely. Yeah.
no limitation.
Yep. I think Incantation is one of the that's I mean that's the beauty of that band to me. That's why you know I I think it's funny because Incantation became literally my number one favorite death metal band because of this reason right here is that I went through that stage of I still love all of the rigidly written, like even Deicide is pretty rigid, it
Right.
sticks to,
Hmm.
I love all that stuff. I mean,
Oh, it's
don't
great.
get me wrong, but the reason Incantation ended up in the long run becoming my favorite is because of the depth of this band, man. It's like this there's so much to unpack. You can listen to the records a million times, and I mean every single one in the catalog, not just Golgotha. And it's like you're always hearing something new, and like it's just a million
Great.
layers. Like
Oh yeah,
it's amazing.
yeah. I totally agree. Even hearing it for the thousandth time or whatever, you'll discover something where it's like, oh wait, I heard that differently before. And
Yeah,
it could be smaller elements or entirities
yeah,
of songs sometimes too, where it's just like, well, I didn't know they were fucking doing that, and
yeah.
it's impressive without a doubt.
Yeah, and the
But
immersion, how you just get kind of sucked into those albums, like just you can't really. I can never listen to them. My brain just kind of fades into the album whenever I listen to those. It's like just like, well, we're going to Incantation Land today. It it's a
take me on a
really
journey,
cool
right?
effect. It's truly amazing in my opinion. Like I have just endless love for that band, obviously, as you probably know.
No, it's obviously it's humbling and it's really nice of you to say so. And I'm sure that we all, I can speak for everybody when I say like, having support such as yourself, into what we do and liking it as much as we liked in the creation of it, it means a lot to us, you know. We can't be anywhere without, without you guys. So, carry on,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah. It's awesome, man. Okay, so now we can jump into a little bit like you getting in the band now, like you
Huh?
becoming a part of it. Let's talk about that. So I think After Party Massacre around that time, right?
Yeah, so I believe at the time they were heading to Columbia to do a fest. This would have been probably like late '07. And
Mhm.
Alex had actually borrowed my bass, so my bass made it to Columbia, but I didn't. And when he made it home, he's like, I don't feel like doing bass anymore. And he goes, I'm going to talk to John, see if you can't come in. And I'm like, well, you think that's even a possibility? And he's just like, nah, you got it, dude. Just learn like two songs, just, make it happen. And went online and I did learn two, and I honestly can't recall what they were. I know one was profanation, but I can't recall the other one right now. But I actually learned four. And I went up to Jim's house at the time, and
Mhm.
John came in later, and we went over the songs. And my friend came with me at the time with a small video camera, and he taped it. And there was one moment on that video where John looked at Jim, and Jim just kind of did one of those like that, and John just kind of does a, like one of those, and that was the
Oh,
moment. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's a good
I always,
sign.
hoped that I would have that tape, but it got lost, sadly. But
Oh, yeah.
and sure enough, we ended up doing a number of U.S. dates. Um, I can't recall all of it, but I know that we played like Scranton or something like that, Maryland, um, New York, um, other places that I can't recall right now.
The
And
hot
then,
spots, basically.
I'm sorry.
Some of the hot spots, basically.
Yeah, it was, just I think at the time it was John's mindset was to like let's do this last hurrah and call it quits.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't think that he had any intentions of really furthering things.
Yeah, because they had been through a lot of bullshit before you joined, right? Too.
Yeah.
And so
Um, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of roller coasters, and again, I wasn't there for it, so I can't say.
yeah,
I don't know. Um,
just acknowledging it.
mhm. And then we were talking to Kyle at the time. Uh, it was at the Europa Club in New York, actually. It was Asheron and Incam were playing the same show.
Nice.
And that was my first time meeting Kyle, which was as brief as hello. Shook his hand, and that was it, really. And I remember that my bass case was destroyed on the way back from Colombia due to the airports. And he's like, "Did you tell your buddy about the bass case?" And I was like, "That was my bass." And he's like, "Oh shit!" And that was my first time meeting Kyle. And Kyle started, coming back to practices when we would go out to Johnstown and stuff at that time period. And they were doing a movie, After Party Massacre, and it was the first song that we were writing together. And John had come up with a riff, and then I think the following practice was like, hey, I got this other idea, like
Mhm.
it's a little change, not too much, And then he wrote the lyrics for that, but I wrote the title for it, and then yeah, it got pieced together into that. Obviously, the movie was then subsequently released,
Mhm.
uh, and then we started writing so much that we were writing on the road. We were writing at like I don't know, maybe like every 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I would say like definitely once a month, probably more than that. Um, and we would meet up and write, and we had so much material. We had like 25, 26 tunes,
Yeah.
I think. uh
Amazing.
it was insanely fast how fast we were writing.
Yeah.
um and the last
And for anyone who doesn't know, it's pretty hard to write that many like cohesive songs. Like that's no simple feat to do that in that time span. That's crazy.
It was fast.
Yeah.
And I think that we were always happy with the end result because all of them had been used over the years. We, obviously took a huge chunk out to do Vanquish, likewise with Dirges, and the material continued on up and through to SECT, I think. Yeah, because that Chant of Formless Dread, I wrote that with Alex back then,
Yeah, that's
a
a good one too. Um,
long time
and
ago.
you know what I find amazing about the fact that you wrote all those in one time, all these songs that got used later on, is that just how different they are too. It's like you wrote
Yeah.
very different stuff. Like it wasn't a lot of the time when you go to write something, they're gonna follow the same lines a little bit. But like you guys wrote like some like way different stuff. Like the fact that you could fit a song from that time on Vanquish and then one on Sect is very cool. That's impressive.
And that had been through obviously lineup changes and a lot had changed from that time period to
Mhm.
SAC that without a doubt, but it certainly was nice to utilize. Nothing got lost, and we started fresh with Unholy, and we started fresh for this time around too. So
Yeah,
uh,
okay.
you know,
Well, let's come back to that, but let's talk about these albums you've been on a tiny bit, just a little bit about each one, because I mean, people, I love these albums, so it's like fucking hell. Yeah,
okay, cool. Oh, I'm
yeah,
glad you like them, man. Can
yeah,
I take 2 seconds to catch smoke real quick?
yeah, dude, go ahead,
Yeah,
go
all right.
ahead. Yeah,
I'll,
man,
I'll be right back. Sorry about that.
no problem, man.
Device.
My drummer, he always needs to take smoke breaks, so
Yeah, I'm the only one. Well, I mean, sometimes Luke will join me on occasion, but
yeah.
I'm the one that pisses everybody off.
Hey, man, if it helps you, I mean, you know.
Yeah, and, I had some troubled times, and the only two vices I still keep is this and smokes on occasion.
Yeah.
So.
It does might not be good for you, but like it's undeniable that it helps with some suppress some stuff for sure.
Oh yes, without a doubt. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no
Just
doubt.
just the way it is. I mean, it is what it is again, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I kind of wouldn't have it any other way right now. Anyways, everything's very straight and narrow, and it's good.
Yeah.
Life is good.
Good, man. It's great. So
Uh, yeah. Where was the album?
for geography, like the way you hear people talk about Vanquish is, I mean, people call that like there's a lot of people who consider that the best death metal album ever. I don't know if you've seen that, but like
Really?
literally ever, not new, like ever. Like
Wow.
so
I have not heard that. No. That's that.
it
I don't have the words for that. That's the.
it's it's
Oh.
it's it's pretty highly regarded by a lot of people. Vanquish is yeah, so I was just mentioning that because it doesn't seem like you were aware of that, so it's pretty funny.
No, no, not at all. The fact that you just said it now is that's now I'm privy to it. Yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah,
It was a very turbulent time for all
yeah.
in the band. We all had our baggage and drama, and
Hmm.
it was not a good time.
Yeah.
Which goes to the old trope of like you need to be in the worst of the worst to create the best, or you need to be, I don't know, on more heroin to make a good Megadeth album. Sorry. But like, you have to have like those elements of chaos in order for it to turn into something, you know.
Yeah. A lot of great shit is sadly made when people are going through horrible times. I mean, it's
It
just
was it was not it was not right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just like, speaking on behalf of all of
You
us.
can kind of hear it in the album though. I mean, Vanquish sounds pissed. Like just
Oh
the
yeah,
the
no.
production even like it's kind of like seething. It's kind of a seething album. Sounds
That would definitely be
the
accurate.
album cover too, dark as fuck, even for
Oh,
Incantation.
yeah, I love that cover.
Yeah.
I still do. When we presented it to Worthless Will Kubersky,
Mhm.
he just nailed it.
Yeah, just
it,
a
we-
colorless, just
it was great. Yeah,
hopeless album cover.
yeah,
Okay.
I love it. It's like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
hopeless. Like you're all striving for that, inevitable resolution, and
Yeah.
fear of death, ethical, whatever
Yeah.
drives you to religious, motivation, and it just fails you, and yeah, I had I had all of my first experiences through that, and of course you want nothing more than the first album that you play with a band to be the very best that you can, you know.
Mm.
Oh man, I was really I was stressed. It was
I bet.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was a
dude.
wild time, man. Uh,
Well, I can't personally imagine like jumping into a band of that. Like, you're entering a band that's been doing it for so long and
yes, like that was
you're trying to keep up with these guys who've been doing it their whole life, right? It's like
it's also
almost
that you wanted nothing to tarnish the legacy that they've already created. They're established,
yeah,
and I wanted nothing more than to just, hold the fort kind of thing, and carry
yeah.
the torch of what incantation is. And yeah, it certainly was an experience, if nothing more. I mean, I'm very proud of it. I still love it to death. Um,
Well, I think you did a good job because in my honest opinion, I think you're definitely the best bass player that the band's ever had, personally.
that's very
And,
kind of you.
and I'll say too, I can hear the bass much more on the records that you've played on than on prior Incantation records too. So
Well, it's very
it's
nice of you. Thanks, dude. I mean, obviously they were a joy to create. Dirges, on the other hand, that was again a turbulent time.
as you know, that one's like my favorite.
That was a adventurous, ambitious kind of
Yeah.
album
Well,
to me.
that's the one you should talk about a little bit, like how like your lyrics too, because
Yeah.
I don't feel like everyone quite understands how much you've done aside from just the bass. So if you want to like get into some of the lyrical concepts, like because when you were explaining that to me on our phone call, I was kind of blown away. I was like, dude, like I need to go back and listen to this shit again. Like this
Oh,
this
cool.
is crazy.
Oh,
No, it
cool.
just makes it better. Like after hearing how much thought went into those lyrics and the concepts, it makes the albums even better. Like when you focus on that.
I mean,
So.
obviously, a lot of like things such as lyrical content get lost. I would say that for the casual listener and stuff, like this isn't the days when you would like, put the turntable on and
Mhm.
spin the record, and then you have like said artwork that you would like scrutinize and stare at as you listened, and then read the stories along with them as they went. Like it's not a very commonplace thing.
Yeah,
Um,
especially when in metal music too. There's a lot of metal where people don't even care about lyrics, right? There's so many fans like that.
No. A term's been thrown around. It's kind of like Yahtzee sometimes. You can just, take like, Satan, blasphemy, bloodshed, bloop, and just kind of throw it
Yeah,
into the mix. And it,
chopping up
you know,
bodies.
yes. And like, and that stuff does really work well, to be honest. Like it got me into it. You know what I mean? So I'm not, in any way, shape or form saying anything negative to it. It's that, just my approach was different. And, I had originally had this idea of the rivers of Hades leading to Elysium
Mhm.
would be as in the ancient Greek, it would be that Elysium Fields were a perpetual paradise under like mauve skies. So they were never truly sunrise, never truly sunset. It was just a perpetual purple, essentially, sky.
Yeah.
And it was reserved for kings, demigods. It was not for humanity. Uh,
Mhm.
and as their, society went from, like republican to empire, kind of like the way Rome did too, with like Alexander the Great and everything, that their religion also changed. And Elysium Fields was no longer reserved just for, half gods or people that transcended from humanity into gods or whatever the case.
Yeah.
It's not just going to be Perseus and Hercules hanging out, but
Yeah.
each one of these rivers was something, denoting a torment or a chaos, essentially. Like people were thrown into like the regular river of, Cocytus and Flamegnon and Styx and Acheron and whatever.
Yeah. One sec. I'm gonna get something down so you can point stuff out visually too, because you were talking about how this artwork here
Oh,
is
yes.
important. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that
yeah.
is a combination of, believe it or not, only three songs. One being the From a Glaciate Womb, which was about Angerboda. She was the frost giant that gave birth to Jormungandr and Fenrir and Hel, actually, the half corpse woman of the underworld. Um, so
Mhm.
that was her giving birth to the abominations, and then the river of her afterbirth is actually one of the rivers leading into Tartarus, and you can see all the souls, tormented at the bottom, getting their way carried over to the Elysium Fields. Um, and in the
Yeah.
corner, there's actually a castle, I believe, above the logo, if memory serves me
Oh
right.
yeah, it's right here. Yeah,
Yeah,
right
and that's
there.
the Bastion of a Plague Soul, which was
Wow, dude.
the second song on the release. But
That is amazing, honestly. Like it's like when you're talking about it, looking at the artwork, it's like a whole nother appreciation, right?
oh yeah, I mean,
Wow.
that's like what I saw after he
That
came back with it. Like when you listen to it and you're, reading along and everything, it was just like that was the embodiment of it. He
yeah.
did it. Yeah, he did an exceptional job. Yeah.
Me.
And the just to follow up and finish that thought was is that those rivers,
Yeah.
each one of them had a particular torment leading towards these paradises, and the one river was the was Leith, which was the river of forgetfulness. So what you were doing is you were forgetting your previous life in order to enter the Elysium Fields for essentially a millennium, and you would never remember what your past was because you were about to be reborn into the next one after this,
Hmm.
millennium. Except for what I did is I created each of the individual torments that you go through. And then when you reach the Elysium Fields, it's essentially like ashes. It's torched, it's destroyed, utterly decimated. There's no life at all. Um, and that when you drink from the river of life, you don't actually lose anything of the previous, and all you have is the torments that you just endured to last for the next millennia.
Horrible.
So that was the idea. And it was originally I presented it as saying like, hey, how about we do like a 10-inch record or something because it's a one encompassing concept. Um,
Hmm.
and obviously it was put into what I thought was going to be six songs, but it turned into one. So it turned into our magnum opus.
Yeah, the big
Now,
long one. Yeah.
you have this massive undulating and sprawling song that lasts for what, 12, 13 minutes or something like that. It's a
I
big one.
I think it's longer than that actually, if I
Is it
remember
good?
correctly. I think it's like 14 or 16.
There you have it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 16, yeah.
Wow. Okay. So that
But amazing song though. It's engaging the whole time. And while you're on that song, I wanted to say I really love Chamber of Dis too. That's a great track as well.
okay, cool. Nice.
Yeah.
The our Legion of Dis. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh
Legion of Dis.
yeah.
I would say
Chamber of Dis
Chamber.
is
That's
more of an angel.
yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Formula song. Okay. So, um, so wait. So So did you start with all the conceptual stuff and the lyrics on Dirges, or did you do any of that on Vanquish as well?
On Vanquish, the Hellions Genesis was supposed to be
Mhm.
it was a collective ritual to where each person was mirroring a certain star system to add another head of like a Hydra. So it was all of these brains that were working to an inevitable end to sow, chaos and discord and death.
Okay, so kind of a
Because each
somewhat similar thing you were doing with that solo stuff a little bit,
No,
kind of.
no, not at all. It
Not at
was not
all.
associated with it at all. No, not at all.
No,
It
I
was
just
that
meant like the concept. It's
oh yeah, it definitely
yeah.
is similar to it without a doubt. But
Okay.
no, I didn't even have any thoughts whatsoever when that time.
Yeah, yeah.
Horror Specs is another one that was
Mhm.
it was ancient Roman reading of entrails was the sorcery was called horospex. So
Mhm.
you read the entrails in order to find the outcome of wars or weather or successions and lineages and stuff like that. You
Yeah.
had to see if the omens were uh
Yeah.
and that was what horospex was, except for I didn't choose an animal. I chose somebody that was like, I think like burned and chained to a pole as a burnt offering, and then they just kind of gut him and the creatures approach and read the entrails as he's dying. Because I think the last phrasings of the song was like, as you're passing out, you see these cloaked figures heading towards you because they're the thaumaturgy, soothsayer, whatever, that is going to read these, signs in your entrails.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow. So next one, your favorite, not really your favorite though, from what you've told me, but Profane Nexus, we got to talk about it because again, that's another album that people seem to really fucking like. When I talk to other people that are more in my age range, people like that record, and
Mhm.
I personally think it's one of the more moody and depressing Incantation records, honestly. You know?
I think it has a vast, doom and,
Yeah, it's a little
technical, like or speed
almost.
elements. Like there's a little bit of
Yeah,
everything in there. I don't think anything necessarily overshadows the next,
yeah.
to say anything positive in regards to it. I think that we played it well. I think that the production is way too clean. That's just personally. And I think that there's elements of it that could have been, if they were different, they would have been better to me. Uh, and that's just, again, that's just, everybody's their own worst critic. So like I'm being my own worst critic, you know. Oh, no
But
worries. That's
yeah,
cool.
some of the song names are pretty long. I love them, but yeah.
You're not required to remember any of this, dude.
I remember when I see the name though. So it's Incorporeal Despair. That
Incorporeal.
song is cool to me. Yeah, sorry about the
No, no,
pronunciation.
no, it's fine. Again, it's just a big word. So it's essentially somebody that is, well, incorporeal. They're a soul, spirit,
Yeah,
uh, and the torments that he's going through, or
yeah.
going through.
I just really always liked that track because it's different. I mean, there's not really a death metal song out there that's similar to that, really. So
This actually harkens back to the Occumancy stuff too. So this was one of the very first times that I actually did add the elements of a dream into an incantation song was on that album. The Visceral Hexahedron song, which just
okay.
nothing more than a fancy way of saying skin cube. So it was a very bizarre dream. Uh,
Hmm.
and you know, it doesn't have any basis in anything. It doesn't make any sense and never did. And I had put it into I believe there was a column called it was something through Decibel, Dreams of the Dead or something like that. Somebody had interviewed me in regards to it, of saying like, what do the dreams mean to you when it comes to, metal and everything? Or dreams like gore, something like that, or dream bloody gore. Yeah, there you go. Um, like the death, but
Yeah.
it was super bizarre to where there's like this collection of bodies and skin that's all sewn together into a cube suspended by a chain. And I head into it, and inside is nothing but subway tiles that are covered in mucus, uh,
Mm.
like black mucus. And a light comes from the ceiling, and when I hold my hands up to it and bring them down, there's a fetus inside of it, bloody, quivering, and I just eat it. And the second that I eat it, my throat expands, my chest expands, and all these hairs start to come out of my chest. And they float in this room. And the second that I reach for them, they all go taut at the same time.
Uh-huh.
And when I pull, it convexes my chest out, and it pulls out a conch shell.
Hmm.
And I hold the conch shell up to the light, and a warmth happens, and I wake up. Fuck is that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what is that? I don't know. Is it because I had, I don't know, spit on a wall in a subway? Is it because, I don't know, I watched some, learning channel, you know, birth video or something? Do you know what I mean? Like, if you
Yeah, you
look at
don't
the
know where that came
association,
from.
I have no idea. No
Yeah.
idea. And I just wrote it down and translated it into a rhyme scheme with a syncopation and put it in like a 6 syllable, framework. And then voila, it becomes a song, and it's
Mhm.
out there. But like, is anybody going to remember it the way that I remember it? Of course not. It's impossible. I'm the only one that ever had that. So putting it out there also makes it like it feeds it. Do you know what I mean? Now
Yeah.
more people are going to know this, if they read the column back in the day or they're hearing this, like it's just something out of my fucked up brain, and if you can explain it, you tell me because I don't know. Like I have no idea.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's a nice way to make songs though. I mean,
It's endless inspiration. Look at
it's a
that.
natural way to do it, you know. You don't have to force it. You just take from your own brain. I
That
mean,
was
I think some of the most amazing stuff is like doesn't need to make sense, and it's just like in a way there's some sort of reality to your dreams too, because they're happening, you know, subconscious. I think so, at least.
sure.
You're just not aware of it, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I mean,
we don't
it
know like
creates
what if,
it creates its own reality. There you go.
yeah, we don't know what's really happening when we're sleeping and dreaming, right? I mean,
I don't think they'll ever figure that one out.
no, that's a tough one.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, and then then we get to Sect of Vile Divinities, which another favorite. A lot of people like that one. I do too. Okay, like so you have a problem with the production on Profane Nexus. What do you think about the production on Sect of Vile Divinities?
It kind of feels similar in some aspects to Profane, a little bit dirtier, which was
Yeah,
advantageous and something that I think we all wanted as well.
yeah.
Um, I'm happier with some of the writing and everything. It was the first experience we had with Luke as well.
I I
It is what it is.
I
But
like knowing though, for sure.
it's a corpse light. So in Gaelic lore, Irish, mythology or whatever, they would talk about corpse lights, and they were in various different colors and things of that nature. Sometimes they would even say that the way to fend them off was with a hand of glory, which was like popularized through Wicker Man and everything, like
Yeah,
the hand of a hanged person, I believe.
yeah.
Um, and they would preserve it and use it to ward off
Hanged
corpse lights
person.
or the ignis fatuus. So that was what, and if you followed the lights, it could lead you to your death, you know. So that was definitely something unique put into the album at that time period. It was also a collection of a lot of different parts of the world, that album. And we had the
Mhm.
entrance of the Hag Queen, which I think we talked about before.
Yeah. I was gonna say I wish I wore that T-shirt because
Oh,
that's
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
because that was a really cool story. Like
Yeah, I mean,
about the
I haven't
well,
heard.
I don't know if I would say it's a cool story actually.
You
That's
know, oh, awesome, but it was
well,
yeah, not so much the the story behind the shirt, which is a bummer, but
yeah, the
the story
shirt,
behind
that's
the
a
song
bummer.
is unique. You know, I mean, I liked it enough to write about it, so that was pretty cool. And I didn't make it up in any way. It was a
Yeah, well, I mean, it was unique enough to have its own shirt, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah, yeah,
that's cool.
and obviously, the video and everything portrayed it, completely, you know, right out. It knocked it out of the park. It was a very, very
Mhm.
accurate portrayal of Balinese, the Balinese story that was of Rangda, the Queen of the Layaks, and uh, the witch, and trying to marry off her daughter to royalty, and the
Mhm.
prince, denying, the witch's daughter, and her taking revenge on not just her, but the whole city and all the pregnant women by having Rangda come out, and these Layaks would eat the fucking babies out of women's stomachs and everything, and just super brutal shit. And
Yeah.
like severed heads with like guts dangling from them. And I mean, if you ever seen
Mhm.
the movie Mystic of Bali, it's like it's exactly where it came from. And this
Yeah.
entrails of the the Hag Queen, there you have it. Yeah.
It's an amazing song though, I think. And
Yeah. It was a fun one to write.
yeah, and another one too is Black Fathom's Fire, that one. That's a very, very well composed track in my opinion. Just very, very good.
Yeah, that was primarily written by me. I think it was me, John. Hmm. I know that Sonny had the outro to that as well. That was primarily his, but the beginning portions I think were my own. I don't know. I'd have to hear it again. It's been, but I remember that there was like, we each had our parts to play into that,
Yeah.
into that
It's a
song.
very good one though.
I was very happy with that one. Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
And is
I'm very happy listening to it, so I imagine.
it was cool, man. And
But,
yeah, there's a fair amount of that throughout the course of that album. Actually, is different the different writing styles that we had, and the different approaches that we took when it
yeah.
finally made itself, one
I
in that.
think it's a pretty dynamic album for sure.
Mhm.
And I gotta say, just as a side note too, just since I play guitar, that I really appreciate the lead work on that album. I think the lead guitars are just really nice on SECT of Vile Divinities, those parts.
Oh, very cool. Like
Yeah.
any songs in particular?
Oh, I'm gonna say the song wrong, but like just one of the biggest examples is Propiation. Did I say that right? I think I
Uh,
butchered it, maybe.
it's Propitiation. It was
Yeah, dude, you see, so bad at pronouncing these titles, man.
no,
But
it just
just
means devotion.
okay, cool,
Propitiation.
yeah. But I love the lead work. I'm not sure if John or Luke did that, or if they both did it and harmonized.
I can't
I
recall.
don't know,
Yeah, I would
but it
have to
was.
hear it again. I really
I
don't remember.
remember hearing that for the first time. And I was like, wow, that is amazing. Like that just like I was kind of taken aback by that. Like just every once in a while a band like I don't know if you feel the same way, but every once in a while Incantation almost has a beauty to its sound. It sounds really funny to say that, and most people would never put incantation in the same sentence as beauty, obviously, but there's these pockets that are like, wow, that's kind of like magical, you know what I mean? So I
I
don't
know
know.
I know that Unholy Ambrosia was definitely Luke.
Mm-hmm.
because the very first show that he played with the four of us, or as the four of us, was at the 70,000 Tons of Metal back in 2020. And it was actually in January because only 2 months later was when the pandemic hit. But that January of that 2020, we played that live. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember Luke just being like, this is the big time now. Like, I'm actually in the band. I was like, but you always were, man. Like the amount of effort that he put into playing the bass and everything and playing the lines that I had written for it, he really applied himself big time. Like,
Yeah.
I just want to, sing some praises about Luke because, I mean, he's an exceptional musician in many different ways. And, to hear his very
Well,
first contribution all the way up until now,
yeah.
the guy is,
I could see that even outside because when I saw you guys in New York, just the way Luke riffs and pops off leads a little bit before you guys even start the set, you can kind of tell that the dude's a beast at the guitar. It's
yeah,
just
he's
like,
great. Yeah,
yeah,
he's exceptional.
yeah,
What I think that's great about him is he's very tasteful.
hmm
He hears things like we played with Reed St. Mark from Celtic Frost at the
hmm
Carolina Chainsaw Massacre Fest, and we were doing Dethroned Emperor, Circle of the Tyrants, just like your typical
hmm
classics or whatever. And the Circle of the Tyrants version that's on To Megatheron has that like wailing scream that Tom does in the middle of
Oh
the
yeah,
album
yeah,
I'm talking
yeah.
about.
He
Well,
did that?
Luke emulated that on guitar
Wow.
on the fly and just found the note and what and just did it. And we
That's
all were
cool.
like, that's fucking awesome, and we
Yeah.
got off stage and I was like, I heard you do the Temega Theron whale. And he goes, oh, I had to. And I'm like, yes, you did have to. And it's fucking great. Like
Yeah.
that kind of stuff is tasteful. It has its spot, but like 10 times more than that is what he contributes to what when we write. He'll see the riff and he doesn't look at it as in its entirety. He goes, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And he layers upon layers. And all of a sudden you hear it in a different way that in its skeletal form, it did not sound anything like that. And he really brings them to life, like
Wow.
a lot. Um, whether it be older material all the way up into the newest stuff that we've written. And I used to harp about it when we were doing SECT of Vile Divinities that there was, oh no, I'm sorry, Unholy Deification, that the song Invocation
hmm
reminds me of the writing and the collaboration and the single-mindedness that we had when we were doing Vanquish, and it hadn't happened in a very, very long time. Like
mm
when we wrote the song Vanquish and Vengeance, Alex, John, Kyle and myself, we all put our little parts into this song and it turned into something that none of us had thought of from any of our
hmm
it turned into something else. And
Yeah.
I love that song because of that. Like I remember that as us having, to coin John as like a synergy. We all of a sudden all just it just worked.
Yeah.
Well, now when we're doing Unholy Deification at the time, it was a sporadic riff, an idea, a maybe,
Yeah.
and whoom, it turned into the song and it didn't even get edited. It was just done. And it was done in maybe 10 minutes.
Wow. That's
Right.
crazy. Yeah,
It, it's
that's
literally insane. Like I want to
that
say
is insane. 10 minutes? Are you
at
kidding me?
most,
Like, holy shit.
most,
That is
it was,
unbelievable.
I had this idea, and then, Luke's just sitting there fumbling along with something. And I said, what are you doing? And he goes, nothing. And I'm like, it's something. Do that. And then John goes, ooh, 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 ooh. Do two counts, do one count, then do two counts, and then change. And it's like, okay. And before you know it, and it's nothing that any of us would have thought it was going to be. And it happened in about in 10 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is
I
amazing.
value those things, like big time. It's
Yeah.
it's huge.
There's nothing like it just coming up on the fly. That's like the best, right? Just
Uh, Sometimes you can scrutinize and edit into oblivion, but that like those two songs in particular,
hmm
no, they're right out the gate, just done.
Well, I guess that leads into unholy deification, which is
Mhm.
similar to dirges. From what I got from our last conversation, was that was another very important album when it came to writing and concept and all of that. That one really blew me away, the way you explained that. And like let's let's just talk about that a little bit, like, and how the track listings are ordered and how there's two different ways to listen to them and stuff. So
Like
all very important.
it's again having that ambitious attitude during dirges of making a 7-part song, or 6 parts,
Mm.
turning into one. This was my first attempt at actually making a concept album. And
Mhm.
to be honest, I think it'll be my last because um, it took so long to piece it into one massive story.
Yeah,
Um,
I figured you must have been like beating yourself up over something like
it
that,
took
like
a
that,
it
the
took a very, very long
tediousness.
time. It took months, man, to be honest.
Oh man,
Uh,
yeah.
and the thing is that each one of the songs is a potential journey of a divus turned deus kind of thing. So like a man
Mhm.
into a god, or maybe I said that wrong, deus into divus, whatever. Um, that what do you do to head down this road? Like you summon upon
Mhm.
your holy guardian angel, daemon, whatever, spectral, guide. And, it's under the impression that you're just trying to get something from it. And it's like, do you want to be amongst our own? And no, 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 no. I want to dominate your own. Like I will become that god.
Yeah.
So, there's ritual elements and there's female properties, male properties in order to create that homunculus, the embodiment of what will celestially become the thing that is feared and graven and worshipped and sacrificed to, and something that is dreamed about, but then transcends space and time, which means that these people that have always worshipped this entity since the beginning of time. There's cave
Mhm.
drawings of it all the way up into the future beyond your own existence that will always be this entity that, is,
Yeah.
you have become that god, and
Achieved everything and there's nothing left, right?
right, like you've achieved transcendency. So that means everything that exists has to go through you to die, like
Yeah.
you are that entity. And that was the idea. And
I
when
yeah.
sorry,
No, no, no. Go ahead. I don't want to cut you off at all. So
I, I didn't mean to talk so damn much anyway, but it's
no,
that
go ahead, bro. Go
you
ahead.
know this that transcendency and that ascendancy of becoming a god. Um, that when we put things together musically, musically it dictated that it was in the form that we presented it to everybody. Like the track listing is the way that you're intended to listen to the album, but the Roman numerals was the journey if you were to read it as like you were reading a book, and you could reshift the songs into numerical order and listen to it in a different way. And
That
I
must have been hella complex to write that way.
yeah. Um, Granted, the Roman numerals helped in a lot of ways to
Mhm.
keep the independency of the musical flow to the conceptual flow. Um, you know, for the casual listener and for those that probably don't want to dig that deep into it, you can just listen to the album. And that was what we intended to do. But if you were to dig deeper and follow it in that theme, then obviously you would rearrange them into like a playlist or something like that and listen to it in a different way. And I have heard people that have done it. They said that they like it in both forms. They don't really have a preference per se, but they said it was cool that it was like that hidden gem that you could go back into it and listen to it in a completely different way. And
Yeah, I agree.
I'd hoped that that provided would be something that would be like an added bonus. But I would say most times, 9 times out of 10, it was like, what the fuck? You don't know how to count, and I guess not. You know what I mean? So like you would see the Roman numerals, but the number of the track listing is one and as opposed to another, and it became more of not a confusion, but more of an aggravation. Like why the fuck would you do that? And when you go, well, it's got a concept, and like, yeah, 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 great. Like I'd rather just listen to the songs, and that's fine too.
I get that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's
A lot
fine.
of people just want the songs for sure.
Yeah.
And well, that's the good thing too, is you guys came up with a bunch of good songs that stand on their own as well, if people choose to listen to it that way,
Mhm.
right? But it is, I personally enjoy learning about all this shit and just, but I'm a big fan of this band, so it's a little different, I guess.
I mean, I admire the fact that you like it because that's the only reason why I do it is because I want people at one given moment, whether it be one particular song, which is normally the way that things go. This one was just a little bit more, again, I'm repeating myself, but it was a little bit more ambitious. This was going to be, it's not going to be a song anymore with a beginning, middle, end. This is going to be, oh, this is like a big,
Yeah,
a big thing.
yeah,
And it's like there's no deviation. Like it has to be straight through because if you're
yeah,
adding these elements of either like sacrifices or, ritual,
yeah,
whatever, because there's no element that isn't, put into it. If you put them out of sequential order, all of a sudden, the story don't make any sense. Um, but whatever.
yeah, yeah. The album has some type of sound to it that sounds a little bit even more detached from humanity than like, I don't know if this resonates with you, but it sounds a little even more detached than other Incantation albums from humanity. I wanted to point that out because I think it's cool. But some of the riffs, the way John approaches his vocals, the way you guys play
Mhm.
on that album, it feels a little less human, like,
Yeah, there's a lot of like those
in a good way.
blurring. Oh yeah, like that homunculus song in particular, like how he drags that very frosty kind of riff, and it just undulates and pulses, and again, it just goes to the
Yeah.
genius of John's writing because it certainly was. Like when I first heard it, I wasn't. I couldn't even really put a beat to it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the beat comes in, and then it just keeps on flowing and flowing and flowing. And as it's doing so, it's also changing in small incremental
Yeah.
movements around underneath of it. It's woof, a fucking
Yeah,
cool tune,
it's
man.
crazy.
You know?
It really is a little different because you can find some emotion in some of the other Incantation albums where that one, Unholy Deification, to me always felt more like, well, like how you described it, like being a being that consumes all life, right? It's
Yeah. Yeah.
like, well, what even is emotion? That doesn't exist for me. Like
Right.
I'm greater than that,
Yeah.
and you guys portrayed that really well on that album, I thought.
Yeah. It's that, if you, by the time you've reached that, I remember even saying, like, that final song has to
Mhm.
be like, it has to be an instrumental because there's no way to put that into words, you know.
Mhm.
And musically and everything, we used circles, ritual circles.
Mhm.
I think the song just called Circle. That became the last of the album, which is actually a very fitting musically song because of its build up and then its chant portion and then that, like just descend into madness kind of, outro that it
Mhm.
has. Um, it,
And who? Sorry, continue.
but that's like just it was a very, very fitting final song to end the journey. You know what I mean? Where,
Yeah,
if it was readaptated, I forget where it falls into the mix, but it's that, those kind of elements of the writing style and everything really shone through on this one.
and I was gonna ask too, whose idea was it to include, a little bit of piano on the album?
Well, to be honest, I wrote that.
Oh
Um,
wow, do you
and
play at all piano?
no, so what had happened was I wrote a I wrote an intro, and Luke
Mhm.
took the intro and made a adapted version thereof, which is what you hear on the album. It's
Oh,
intro
okay.
to Megaron, actually,
Mhm.
which is nothing more than like a sacrificial pyramid that was used to put bodies and stuff inside of, and then you.
And you can kind of see that on the back artwork of the
Yes.
record.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like people were saying like, is it Mega Ron? Like, is it this guy named Ron who just became a superhero?
Oh,
Uh,
that's just meme shit.
no, I mean I get it. You know what I mean? But like, the reality is that word was used as a chthonic ritual device. Chthonic only meaning underground, or
Yeah.
in this case, underwater, whatever. It's the same idea. It just put all your sacrificial victims into it. Instead of being just a pyramid, I made it out of bone, and you
Mhm.
throw that down in there, and that's the sacrifice, whatever. But the
Yeah.
intro, having the piano and everything, it's only three notes, I think, by the time it got adapted into the version that you hear. That is due to again Luke's wizardry of working with the dolls and everything. Like, God, I don't know how the fuck he does that kind of crap, but yeah, he just manipulated it into a
That
fashion
shit, that
that's
shit looks
better.
harder than making the actual music to me. Honestly, like that
How
intimidate
he does it?
that shit intimidates me more than any music, honestly.
He
So,
nailed it, though. I'll tell you that.
oh
And
yeah. I thought it was like just a piano, so
yeah, no, it's wholly
that
synthetic.
he definitely nailed it if I couldn't tell.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Like I think the piano was some kind of like plug-in or something at the time, but then
Yeah.
yeah, it's like yeah, that is wholly unique. I mean, it
Yeah.
probably won't happen again, but yeah, it was what
Yeah.
it was.
It was a cool idea though. I like that, the band just kind of maybe doesn't implement something ever again, but you do it one time on one song in one particular album and it never happens again, but it's cool that it happened.
I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes it's not necessary to repeat tropes. You know what I mean? Like,
No, it makes it more
uh,
effective.
yeah, it's like there's a lot of different elements out there that could be utilized. And just keep moving
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah, man.
Like we were using, or I was hoping to use, the song ZP Totec. I believe that's on Profane Nexus as well.
Hmm.
It
Yeah.
was the Mayan deity of the Feast of the Flaying. So every March they would skin somebody and save their leg bone, and then they would become the embodiment of a deity that would go and bless you for like pink eye and stuff like that. I'm dead serious too. It was just a Mayan thing, and they have the death whistle down there that was used for warriors and charging into battle, and even priests and stuff like that was using it for fear tactics. You know what I mean? Because it sounds like somebody screaming. And I wanted to use it at the beginning of the song. We never did. And I was hoping that whenever we play it live in the future, now I own one because I got it at Teotihuacan to actually
Hmm.
use it before we play ZB Totec, which I think would be cool. Like put it into a microphone, just,
I dig seeing that for sure, yeah.
think it'd be just kind of cool.
Oh yeah, if you can add that, I mean, why not, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So then like I know you can't talk about much, but what are people going to be able to expect next for the next incantation? Like just a little any insight or not everything's off the table. I mean, you got to be careful, I know.
Uh, we have you always want your next release to be the best. Yes.
Oh yeah.
So we all feel really, really strong about this upcoming material. Um, I I'm very, very happy with it. All of us put in so much effort, and it shows.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, I'm assuming it's going to be pretty fucking special. It seems like that's the just judging on the albums, it seems like the trajectory. So,
that's okay. Cool.
yeah.
I hope it carries over that path for those that listen. It's it's been very enjoyable to write, I guess is probably the best way to say it. we're not at each other's throats. There's no egos involved. There's
Good.
no none of that. And it really does show in the material because it feels strong, you know.
Yeah, just
Uh,
powerful,
yeah,
powerful shit.
yeah. And there's nothing that isn't untouched. We have our faster, the more doomy. We have technical elements. Nothing doesn't get its time to shine. And
Is
as I could say right now, it's I I'm very happy with it. I know we all are. So with
Mhm.
that in mind, I think that we have something strong to put out there, and I hope that people feel the same way we do about it. You know,
Yeah.
the best
Well,
way I could say it.
it would make sense if it ends up that way. I mean, it's hard to have a track record like Incantation, like just being objective about it. There's not a lot of bands that have kept it that strong for so long, and I think it's impressive with Incantation because it's like, well, wait a minute, how is this band like one of the most consistent bands ever, like literally ever to me, throughout all these lineup changes and every album sounding vastly different from each other, to be that consistent is really wild, you know.
It's
You take a band like Cannibal Corpse, ultra consistent.
mhm.
Every album is like, I don't want to say they sound the same, but they follow a much more linear path. They have a formula locked down, but it's like a band like Incantation, every album is still consistent, but they're reinventing each time, you know. It's
I
just
mean,
really impressive.
Cannibal has like I think two very distinct eras. Like
Oh yeah.
your Barnes into Corpse Grinder eras. You know what I mean? Like so,
Oh
you know
yeah.
they always felt very distinct. Um,
Yeah.
and I think they're both fantastic.
I
It's
agree.
like the longer that the band is around, what is it? Do you either just slowly and steadily just get into oblivion, which is what they've done. I mean, oh my goodness,
Yeah. Well, I guess my point with Cannibal Corpse, like a band like that, it's like they're so big, and it's like when a new Cannibal Corpse record's out, there's never a question that it's like, oh, it's gonna be bad. It's like it's gonna be a good death metal record, basically.
Yeah, yeah,
Because they're very safe and they're set. They know what they got to do, and people want that every time.
they
But the
do.
difference between that and like Incantation or even Immolation too,
Hmm.
that every album's just different. They
Yes,
change a lot. It's still
yes,
the band, but it's very different.
without a doubt. No, I
Yeah,
couldn't agree more with that either, too. Yeah, it's like each band respectively has their own style and sound, but
definitely.
it's like, do you let that tried and true niche that you've created be the driving factor for it? Do you deviate? How far do you deviate? I mean, that gets really difficult
Yeah.
too. You know what I mean?
Well, I
Like,
guess that's what you would say about Incantation. You've mastered the art of deviating just far enough to where it won't turn people away, but it's like you're not afraid to implement new ideas still. That's
I would
how I see
I
it.
would be terrified to go too far, to be
Yeah,
honest.
like where you
I'm a
said.
stickler for
Yeah.
that kind of stuff is like, the reason that we like what we like is because of what it is.
Yeah. Well,
The,
that's just what I love, To me, Incantation, that's the purest form of death metal, yet still experimental. It's not experimental in a bad way. It's just the right amount. So,
well,
it's
I hope we deliver.
yeah, well, I think it will, man. And what else? Like, yeah, just maybe a basic question is like, do you have a favorite death metal record of all time? No, you can't pick one.
Impossible.
Yeah.
No way. No. I mean, there's a many that I've actually, held dear and everything, but there's way too many to say like this is like
Yeah, because they get so different, right?
Oh,
there's a lot of
oh,
death metal that doesn't even seem like it's in the same genre as each other. It's to some extent, just like
yeah,
the way you play a deicide song and the way you play an incantation song is like
two different worlds.
you might not even know how to play a single deicide song, but you could play the incan stuff and vice versa, right? It's just
Yeah.
like those skills don't even translate to some degree. Like,
No, it's two different worlds,
yeah,
obviously we're in the same genre, but
yeah.
it's very, very different
What a
approaches.
hell of a genre to be too.
Oh yeah, it's great, ain't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you might get. I mean, I don't know if you get a little sick of it on tour at all or something, but that's understandable. But I think it's the ultimate genre in metal, personally. I just think it has the most to offer. I think everything in metal funneled up to death metal, and then it never got better from there.
I
Like,
mean, I find that like, if we're hanging out or something like that, we listen to all kinds of stuff, man. Like it's all within the
yeah.
metal, obviously. Like we were just mentioning Razor, you and I were talking about them and everything, how great they are,
Yeah, let's
we
open up
all
that
grew up
can of
on.
worms. Ooh,
But
dude.
we all grew up on that kind of stuff. But it
Yeah.
also could be, you put on a Manowar album or a Maiden album, or you
Another
put on
question. Yeah.
Priest or Merciful Fate, or
Ah, yeah.
I'm just saying, like, it could be anything. Like
Well,
I might reach for like a Thin Lizzy album, and then the next, couple minutes it might be a Deep Purple that
yeah.
ends up being on. And
Well,
like we all,
totally. Yeah.
the crazy part of it was is that, like, my household growing up, like I didn't have the exposure that most do. And
Yeah.
when
It's
I was getting into Maiden and stuff like that, and Metallica, Anthrax, and all that other stuff or whatever, like as a kid, um, I didn't know like Beatles or, you know, Black Sabbath and so like my parents didn't listen to any of that stuff, man. And that's where your first, music school is. Yeah, like, all the bands that I grew up listening to and everything, like I went headlong into that without knowing about, you know, Deep Purple and Sabbath I did know, but like as a whole, I would say like a lot of the 70s stuff, like I did not know any of that. None of it. And
yeah. Well, something funny is I heard Morbid Angel before I heard Black Sabbath. So
that's my case in point is like I
yeah.
heard Metallica before I heard the Beatles.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair.
So
But
like it just is what it is at the time.
yeah. Yeah. But it's great shit. And we can both agree openly, right, that Merciful Fate is, 100% the best heavy metal band ever. That's,
Dude,
certified. That's a fact, not an opinion.
I I saw them three times.
Uh,
Thank fucking goodness for that. I saw them in 98, 99, and I just saw them on that last run that they went with the Armored Saint guy and everything. It was a
oh, that's cool.
few years back or whatever now. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm sure that there's plenty of people out there who've seen them 13 times or 23 times. I get it. You know what I mean? But I'm
Yeah.
just saying from my own experience, like being able to have seen them three times is just
I
a lot to me. You know what I mean? Because
feel lucky to have seen them once. So I get it.
they were so awesome, and
Yeah.
I love their material. I really do. It's like, the bass work that Timmy Hansen did was a huge influence on me too.
Oh man, dude. I could say the same thing about Hank Sherman and stuff. Like, God, man. Denner. Oh man. Just
Just feeling, talent,
yeah.
talent and feeling,
Yeah.
it's such good stuff. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Unreal, man. And I could see how you'd be lyrically into that band too, because the lyrics are a little more thought out than some of the other heavy metal for sure. Like,
Where's, it's the thinking man's, Satan. That
yeah.
was cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
I could never figure out whether I like Don't Break the Oath or Melissa more. I have trouble picking between
Uh,
them. I can't.
that just kind of falls like
Yeah.
right across the board for them.
The 90s records are
Yeah.
fucking amazing too, though. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
shit. Time. Ooh.
In the shadows, right?
Yeah, that's a great
Good
one.
album.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh man.
yeah. I love all that stuff too, man. It's great. And I like the lurk. Listen to me. I like the early King Diamond stuff too. I think Fatal Portrait, Abigail, like
too.
they're untouchable. Like I got a chance to see the Abigail tour when he came through, and they filmed it in Philly, and they made a Blu-ray out of it. And
Oh,
I've
is that
watched
the
it,
was that like 2017 or something?
I
Or
believe so, yeah.
I have the Blu-ray of that, yeah.
I try to look
So
for
you were
myself in
there.
that audience. Yeah, I was there.
Oh,
I got the shirt to prove it, but I can never find myself in the stupid fucking video. Uh,
yeah.
I remember Kyle
That's
and I
a
watched.
great live video, man.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, no, and that was an accurate portrayal because they were just that good. Like they were perfect.
Oh, dude, King Diamond live. Wow.
Perfect.
Can't fucking believe that. Andy LaRock too, like, whoa, whoa, man.
And
I
his wife was back there doing the backing vocals.
Oh yeah, dude. That was
And
sweet
nailed it.
too.
Nailed
Oh,
it. They
dude,
did that
yeah.
that where he takes the wine glass and throws it over his shoulder, and drummer hits it with the fucking stick. It was like all timed perfectly. I was
Yeah.
like, you gotta suck, dude.
Oh my
Damn,
God.
dude. Just nailed it. Yeah,
Yeah.
they were on point, man.
Well, the other thing I love about King Diamond is the fucking like when they're doing the acoustic songs too, the guitar players actually switched to the acoustic guitar. There's no backing track. They swapped they swapped to it.
They have them with the
It's like,
stands and they just walk up to them.
dude, yeah, that was more impressive than like any soloing to me. Like
And they're
I was
just as tight too.
I know
Just
I
as
was
tight.
explaining to whoever I was with, I was just like, do you know how hard it is to like swap guitars mid playthrough seamlessly? Like to go in from electric guitar right to like, dude, that shit is way harder than any solo you could rip. Like, that's unbelievable.
What was it? Sleepless Nights. He does that, doesn't he? Doesn't he flip
Yeah,
like
that's
that?
a killer track. Yeah,
Insane talent, man. That's just craziness.
yeah,
Whatever. That's why they're King
yeah,
Diamond. Yeah.
yeah. Well, what do you have to say to Venom and Manowar deniers?
I'm sorry, but both of those bands are very near and dear. Like I love
Well,
them to death.
well,
Yeah,
they kind of embody everything metal should be. So
yeah. If you're not into it, so be it.
I thought it would be a funny way to end it. So
Yeah, no, yeah, because yeah, I'm all about both of those bands, man. So,
oh,
love them or hate
actually,
them.
there was one more thing I wanted to mention because I haven't told anybody about this, but yeah, Chuck is actually playing on the Sadistic Malevolence demo now. Yeah,
Did I
that was
not
about.
mention this earlier? Shame on me. Yeah.
I couldn't I forgot about my own project with this shit. Like,
It should have been the first thing we mentioned here, man. Yeah,
no, it's
because
a
you actually should receive the credit where credit is due because yes,
well, I didn't want to
Charlie
make
and
this
I
about me. This was kind of about
um,
you too.
yeah, but now it's your turn because between Charlie and I playing on your project and everything was an extreme honor for both of us actually because you
Dude,
have
that's humbling to me though.
you got a genuine talent and you have a great songwriting. You have an amazing arrangement, is what I'm impressed by. You have ways
Wow.
of taking like an A and a B tag and then making a transition and then putting a tag on that and then going back to a riff and you're like, damn, dude. Like it's creative, it's engaging, it's fucking awesome,
Wow.
and I'm very happy to be part of it and thank you for having me on it. So
I really appreciate those words, man. Like coming from like obviously like it means a lot. Like 'cause it's how it is being a musician. You're always questioning yourself and just like, this isn't good
sure.
enough.
No,
But
it never will be, man. You know what
to
I mean?
have
So just you carry on with exactly what you're doing because
yeah,
the formula that you've got is
I
working.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make songs that didn't have any boring moment to them, and just
And they
and
don't.
legit. And I wanted to have legit death metal. I was just like, I just wanted to make something that I wanted to hear. I was like, I have not. this has been under wraps. Like, the fact that you and Charlie and Sasha, also from Gorgasm, are playing on this demo
Very
has
cool.
been pretty much secret, because I was kind of like, should I wait to reveal that till when it comes out? Or it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. Like, but I just wanted to say, like, it was kind of cool how that all worked out for me. Like, because I went to New York, which was pretty, I'm in Nevada, saw you guys.
I did not know that you were from Nevada, dude.
No, it's because when
I
we
had
talked,
no
it was
idea.
pretty brief. It was pretty brief at the concert.
But I mean, even regardless of brief, I didn't know the geography. I had no idea you came three time zones. I had no idea.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Well, I had been waiting to see Incantation for a while, because, like I told you, I was bummed as fuck when I missed the Mortal Throne set that you guys were doing. Like,
Yeah.
I was like damn near. I wasn't actually devastated, but I was kind of devastated. I was like,
Well, it
oh,
sucks.
fuck me, because Mortal Throne is fucking Mortal Throne. I don't need to say any more about it. Like, I wanted to see those songs, damn it. But
It would have been, isn't that a fucking shame too? Because we did a fair amount of shows with that too. Damn.
yeah, I
Great.
know. I couldn't believe I missed it. It was just one of those things where it's like just slipped by a sliver.
I'm not going to make it work.
Happens.
Continue. Yeah.
So anyway, well, and anyway, in the New York show, you guys played almost all the Mortal Throne songs anyway, so it made up for it to me. But I was just saying, like, I saw you guys were in New York, and Incantation, as everybody on my channel knows, is my fucking favorite death metal band. Like, it is just plain and simple, you know, the ultimate band to me, the ultimate death metal band, the purest form of death. This is kind of where I'm kissing ass right now, but it's all coming from a place deep down. You know,
It doesn't go unnoticed, man. And
the band basically means a fucking lot to me, So it was really important to make it out to a show like that. And you guys were playing with Mortician too. It's like seeing that show in New York of all places was kind of a cool, that was a cool show in my
sure.
opinion.
Like
Just
that,
like you
I mean,
guys are
it's
in.
cool for me too because it's like that origins of death metal kind
Yeah,
of,
it was an important location to play at, I think. So I wanted to see you there because favorite death metal band, and then on top of that, I had to see Mortician at some point anyway. Pyrexia was good to see too.
definitely.
And it was a good show, and killer show. And I walked in there and I just saw John at the table just sitting there while all the fan girls were going to Will Romer and Mortician, because Mortician got the TikTok treatment. So
Too
dude,
funny.
I couldn't believe how many girls were going crazy over Will and Mortician. I was
Really?
like, dude, girls listen to Mortician? Holy shit. I was like, damn.
I
Like,
That's new on me too.
yeah, I was
Wow.
shocked. I was like, wow, dude, that's crazy. But John was kind of sitting there, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna fucking talk to John. Like, this dude is John's like if John ever sees this interview, he's like my biggest guitar inspiration, like more so than any of these classic guys, more so than like Iommi or any. Like, John is the guitar player for me in my style. Like,
Oh. I
where do
know
you think?
Iommi is like one of his.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
by like it's just passing the torch down though.
Mhm.
That's how it works. And where do you think I learned how to riff like that on my demo and stuff? Who do you think I watched? It was people like John, people like Vigna from Immolation. These are the types of guys that I watched, and I was like, I don't want to do like this ultra. I want to riff like them. Like, that's what I want to do. I want to do those pinch harmonics. I want to do all that stuff. So huge influence. It was really cool to talk to him. And then after the set, dude, like, I remember I came up to you first, and the whole thing started. And I thought I instantly took a liking to Charlie when I met him too, because I didn't have to ask Charlie anything. Charlie presented me with shit. He just presented me this stuff. So it felt like, oh, this guy's actually interested in something, and I'm not just like, I'm not selling myself. And in my opinion, the best stuff is when you don't have to sell yourself. The best connections happen that way, you know, and you shouldn't idolize anybody as if they're a god, but at the same time, they're people too, and you don't harass normal people, so you don't need to harass band members. That's a
Two-way
huge thing.
street.
Yeah.
Two-way street. Yeah. Uh,
So yeah, it gets to a point
totally agree with
where
that.
it's, you know,
Yeah, I agree.
some band I've heard some band stories from people that are just like, wow, like that you literally had a stalker. Like it's weird. So don't
Yeah,
do that. Don't do that.
yeah. I mean, there have been folks that have, folks that I'll never forget because of their attention to things, which is an admirable quality. But then there's other folks that are, I don't want to say obsessive. Well, yeah, they're obsessive. And with that in mind, it makes things difficult. Like you can't even put on the fake pleasantries of, this is a really cool thing that you're doing for me when they're just like it's it gets to be much,
Yeah.
I appreciate everyone, obviously,
Yes. Because at the end of
but
the
it's
day, no
difficult.
matter what, it's like they're supporting, of course. But
Indeed. And I don't take that for granted in any way, shape, or form, like that,
yeah.
people would say like, "Hey, thanks for coming," and it's almost become like a carbon copy answer of like, "I can't be here if you are not." And
Hmm.
they're like, "Oh, oh, oh," and I'm like, "Yeah, but oh, oh, oh is exactly what I'm trying to say to you is that like, do not elevate us when I'm trying to tell you that we can't play for an empty room and thank you for being here because it's genuine and I mean it."
Yeah.
You know, uh, I think that pleasantries can usually be thrown around for no good reason, or when they are, meaningful, sometimes it could be just be
Yeah.
brushed off or whatever. And it's like, yeah, like this is the time when I actually do mean it. You know what I mean? Where other folks are like, "Hey, take all my money," and you're like, "I'm not taking
Yeah.
your money." And they're like, "Yeah, but I've been partying for 4 days because I wanted to see your show," and I'm like, "Exactly that. I'm not taking your money." You know, uh,
Yeah.
there has to be a balance. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Well, anyway, back to the story too. It was just really cool talking to Charlie because I mean he's on top of the world
Great.
in death metal right now, and
Mhm.
he's remained humble, and the fact that he showed interest in my band without even hearing it was very cool to me. You know, because you talk to most people you talk to, you tell them about their band, like, oh, okay, cool. You know, they don't really show true interest in it. It's kind of just like, oh, whatever, another band, right? Like. There's thousands. But
It
Charlie was he was like, you know what? Come out to the studio just right away. And I was like, okay, like wow. That was kind of shocking almost to me. I was like, really? Like you haven't even heard me. But he took a
doesn't
chance
matter. Come on out.
and he heard some of the stuff and he liked it, luckily. And then his drumming's on the demo. So there you go. And then I even thanked Charlie for hooking me up with you as well because uh he just texted you and you instantly said yes at a time that was inconvenient to you no less, and you liked it too, which
Hmm.
I felt very lucky by, and I was glad Charlie hooked me up with you because it turned out that not only was I getting a killer bass player from my favorite death metal band to play on my demo, which it's pretty fucking cool for someone who's just starting out. But also, it kind of gave me a new friendship with you because I fucking enjoy our conversations a lot.
Likewise, dude. Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
mean, obviously, we tend to talk too long. It just proves that
Well,
we enjoy
it
each other's
helps when,
company, and
yeah,
yeah,
it helps when
good
both
stuff.
people are that way, because if one
Definitely.
if one of us wasn't, then one of us would,
You're gonna get burned out real quick.
yeah, that's the problem. So it's good to meet someone that also talks a lot.
Yeah. No, I've been called a Yakosaurus. I've been called everything under the sun, man. Like I'm a fucking talker, and
Uh,
I try not to think of myself as such, but it's exactly what I am. I can't help it. And when I meet my own, yeah, we know it.
yeah, it's
You
not
know,
like you're not
we know
aware,
it.
you know.
Mhm.
The
No, it's
self-awareness is there. It's just
it's a joy to be a part of your project. I'm happy
thanks.
for it. I'm really looking forward to its release. And very much looking to help push it as well, because it
Thanks,
deserves
man.
it, it
I
deserves it.
appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yeah, and you're a part of it. It's gonna be a part. It's a part of your repertoire too. Now, I mean, it's gonna be a part of you too because it's your base. You know.
well, it's us. How's that?
Yeah.
There
Yeah,
you go.
it's pretty cool. Yeah.
And that kind of stuff is important, and in
Mhm.
years past or whatever, you had like a more fuck that band or who's that or are they cool enough,
Oh, dude, I can't
it's
fucking
really
stand that trend
it's
hopping.
awful,
Like, just oh, this band is cool right now because it's hot. It's like, oh, get the fuck
Yeah,
out
but
of
I
here,
mean, just
dude.
like, even having the conversing situation of like, well, who is that guy? What band?
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
like, no, this doesn't need a
Dude,
checks and balances.
people talk like that to bands that used to be like
No,
shit. It's like, what? Like, who are
yeah,
you to talk about that like that band? Like, come on.
to have a checks and balances of whether I
Oh
actually
God, yeah,
or not.
popularity contest and death metal. Get the fuck out of here.
Unbelievable. It's
I
just
agree.
mind-boggling to me. But
Oh yeah,
to know that Charlie has been an extreme help to me, an extreme help to this project, introducing one another.
yeah,
Like that is how networking happens. It's how friendships develop. It's how, this one world community becomes and maintains itself as being a one world community as things such as this. So it's like, it's important. And I'm glad that he's a purveyor of it because, um,
yeah. Me
I've
too.
never seen him anything more or less than Charlie. That's who he
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
Exceptional beyond words. Do you praise into oblivion? Yes.
Sometimes,
Earn it?
yeah.
Yes.
He's kind of earned it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but also like when we hang out, are we just friends hanging out? Yes, every single time. Whether it be a week or 5 or 8 months in lapse,
Yeah.
it ends up like never a moment,
Yeah.
never,
Well,
never, there you
I
go.
think it's funny for me with Charlie because like I don't think he quite realizes how much that he's helped me in this project like because he's so busy and he does so much shit like so it's like I just want to put it out there like this dude is he's helped this fucking band so much like and I don't even think that he would acknowledge how much he's helped. I mean,
No,
maybe he
you
would,
have to
but
squeeze it out of them.
yeah, he's too humble. So it's like, I have to say it from my mouth because he won't say how much he's helped with it. So
Another admirable quality. Yeah.
yeah. And then you too, man. I mean, you got those bass tracks done too. I remember I messaged you and you're just like I was like, "Hey, so I'm gonna get back in the studio with Charlie so and so. Like, can you have this done?" And you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm all like you said something like I'm done already." And I'm like or something like that. And I was like,
I
"Oh,
had
okay."
two, and I was working on the third at the time. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
uh,
I was impressed
it
no
was
less.
weird. I was dealing with incantation writing and recording at the time, and I was bouncing back and forth to Ohio. And when I got back on like I think on a Tuesday or no, a Monday. I took the Tuesday off, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is when I recorded your stuff. So I did like the one song, Wednesday, the second song Thursday, and then you contacted me that Thursday night. And we're like, "Hey, could you be ready in a week?" And I was like, "Actually, I'm going to be done by tomorrow." And then I think I gave them to you either on that like Saturday or maybe
Mhm.
something like that. Like I just kind of like edited them up and made sure that nothing.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I want you to know I still haven't heard those either.
Oh no, nor have I. I was hoping to
Oh
hear it
yeah.
back. Yeah, and like I sent them out to Charlie. He did download them. I know that he has them, but I'm waiting to hear a mix back. Because I'd really like.
Yeah. Well,
You know.
we should be done by the 13th because we're waiting on Sasha to get some more lead work. So when he's done, and dude, his leads are good. They're pretty immolation-esque, so good company.
Well, yeah, no, I'm really curious to hear this. Yeah.
No, it should be really good. So by the 13th we'll be done, and then what I'm not looking forward to is waiting on a label to get everything done because oh fuck, like I don't even know what else to say about that side of things.
Because
Like
even after you find it, you're going to have to wait another
yeah,
like 8, 10 months
yeah,
for the plant to actually process.
yeah.
You know,
Well, and that's the tough thing is that I wanted to release this soon, but it's like realistically, like it's a dumb
looking
I
at
it's a
about a year.
bad idea. It's a bad idea to release like from what you said too. It's a bad idea to release stuff without the physical media ready to go and everything else. You
Be
want
be
everything
prepared.
out at once.
Yeah, be prepared to wait a year.
So,
Like the Balefire stuff, we have a second release, and the final pictures came back, the layout's being finalized now, but our drummer is in Japan.
mhm.
So he's out with his other project right now, doing a number of shows and everything, which is great. Like, fucking go to Japan and play tours. I mean, fuck, dude. Like, good for
Yeah,
you. But when he gets back, it would be fix two, three little elements, and then we ship it out to a label that already has since released us prior, which I really hope upon hope that they have some interest in this one.
yeah,
Um, but then we got to wait a year.
dude, that's just way too
Uh,
fucking long. Like, it's just
Sadistic malevolence,
yeah.
expect to wait a year.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to tell Charlie to get on their asses. No, I'm joking. That won't work. I know.
No, because like even if the label does, accept and puts you into their, client list or whatever, like that, it still is not going to speed up the process, like
Yeah, man. It's kind of hard to believe that like a demo is gonna take that long. Like, but it is what it is. It's
and
worth
if
it,
you
I
if
guess, to release it proper.
if you hold on to that perseverance of just like not releasing anything until the physical comes out, because I'm like that too. Like
Mhm.
I won't leak anything unless it's like to somebody that actually recorded on it or a very close friend that I know it's not going to go
Yeah.
anywhere past their,
Well, yeah, like
their hard drive.
I'll send the tracks to you and everybody who played on it. But
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. And you might have like a childhood friend that you'd be like, dude, check this out. Like, I get that. You know what I mean? Like, I do it too.
Mhm.
But, the
You gotta
reality
trust
is that
people though.
you have to. And if you don't even remotely, you just kind of go, and then you even put a disclaimer like, please don't spread this around. Right. Um, that the
That's
end
how it
result.
works. And they share it with a friend that they think is trustworthy, and then that friend shows it to everybody. Like,
Yeah.
tough shit. Gotta be careful.
It's it's that you can't speed up the process, and if too much gets leaked, um, it will be worthless before it even starts, and
Yeah.
it will have a death date because I'm the perfect example of that. Like the occupancy stuff, that died before it even had a chance to live. That was fucking
Wow.
assassinated,
Shit.
and it would be tragic to think that the sadistic malevolent stuff would come out and all of a sudden be killed before it had its chance. Like, no.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
absolutely
I
not.
gotta make sure I do that right. Gotta make sure.
Take your time.
I mean,
Take.
I've been doing
No, no, no. You got it. I think. No, still frozen. Aha.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
Fucking finally. Fucking Wi-Fi is against us right now.
But I couldn't agree more because like that's the same approach that I have with everything that I do because you can't fight technology.
Yeah.
And technology is a oversaturated, environment and people do not fucking care at all. And I want to force their hand into a physical product because we're in a genre that actually does rely on physical media.
Hmm.
That if you say buy the vinyl and then in a month or two, then the internet stuff comes out, I don't want it to be vice versa. I want somebody to go, the fuck is this? And not care about it at all, no matter how many write-ups or anything like that, and let it be a purely their own interest level is what created the, ooh, dude, you should hear this. Like, this is pretty cool. No write-up of, or review or anything from people that we have no idea who they were. It was the word of mouth, like trying to like retrogress ourselves into like the old days of when you went and leafed through a fucking cabinet and went, you ever hear this before? Yeah, me neither. I'm gonna buy it. And then you
Yeah.
got back and turned and you go, yeah, it sucks. And you go, oh, well, what about this one? Oh, this one's actually pretty cool. And then you talk to the next person, and that kind of networking is what I found to be the most genuine because it makes lifelong fans out of the situation too. Because
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
they had to put that much effort into it in order to go,
Yeah.
no, I actually really fucking like this,
They weren't spoon-fed it. Yeah.
Yeah, like, you can get entire careers of people at the click of a button.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's kind of a
or
point too for I think a message like I don't even have a fucking release out yet, but I think a piece of advice that every newer band should follow, which I'm in no position to give advice to newer bands, I'm aware, but a piece of advice I would have is don't do whatever's currently trendy. Do the music that you truly want to make. If you do whatever's the current trend in death metal or whatever, it's gonna die. You can't follow the trends. You gotta do your own music.
that is no matter what genre it is,
Yeah,
if you follow trends, you will die from it. Or the material that you create will die.
because the hype dies down eventually. So,
Always.
yeah.
Always.
And music is fast. It just moves the speed of
Sure.
light.
I mean, how many people listen to like, what's the hell is the name of that style that came out? Slam.
Slam.
Right.
I,
Like, is slam still a thing?
I guess, but I don't know.
I
I
love
was
it
never in.
because I have no idea either. But like it took me that long to remember what the style was called. But like this splinter faction subgenre of death metal is now like slam. But it would also be like you could be slam core, you could be speed slam, you could be mosh
Yeah,
slam, you could be slam rap, you could be, do you know what I mean? Like you could deviate into so many different factions of what slam was, and it was extremely popular at the time. So you could say like I listened to the very first CDR demo of Slam.
yeah.
Like, does that have bragging rights? No, because like it's already moved past that. We don't care about Slam anymore. We don't even remember
Well, the whole thing about that style is that you had brutal death metal bands in the 90s who those slam sections were just a section of their songs. It wasn't the whole song either. And they did it best too. So it's kind of a hard genre to keep expanding on, in my opinion.
I I will have to take your word for it. I mean, I
Yeah.
never heard the term before, but then we also make that association with
Yeah.
it. Do you know what I mean? So it's like
I don't like any of the term like I just brutal death metal is acceptable to me, but I don't really like calling stuff other like it's got to be death metal. Like let's call it death metal. If it's not death metal, then it's not death metal, right? If you're not calling it death metal, It's a different thing at that point.
I mean, I'll go as far as to say, like, is it metal or not? You know, whether
Is
it
it
be,
metal? Is it metal or hip hop at some point?
aha, there you go. See, like, you could have metal in all of its,
Yeah. Well, there's a point
forms,
where death metal riffs are like, well, those aren't really death metal riffs. Those are like hip hop beats.
right?
So,
Like, if you have death metal, like, are we talking possessed style death metal? Or are we talking, death? Are we talking the Florida boom, the New York boom? Are we talking about, like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's so
yeah.
many different sub factions that end up making this layering effect of like, well, okay, by the time you get to, I don't know, something that has slam elements, you could say like, okay, well, that's still death metal, and it's like, but I don't remember ever hearing the term slam up until only a few years ago. Yeah, but like that was the old school days for me. And you're like, ah. And,
Yeah.
and I can't tell them otherwise. It's their childhood. You know what I mean? Like to them, they remember the origins of slam, and now all of a sudden it becomes really important to them. I don't know. I don't think that it transgresses. I don't think that it will. I mean, obviously it hasn't carried because,
Hmm.
I mean, if slam isn't a thing anymore, then it's already died as fast as it came out and disappeared. Oh well.
That's the homeboy metal, man.
Rest in
Yeah.
peace, slam.
It's so fucking hilarious, dude.
It's so stupid. It makes no difference to anybody. It
Oh,
just
someone,
doesn't.
yeah, it's
At least
fucking,
it shouldn't.
yeah, no.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff just doesn't matter. I mean, obviously people have been,
That shouldn't shock anybody that incantation might not, it's not this not very similar style, just to say the least.
it's
Usually those guys, the incantations, the Morpheus descends, usually they're not very fond of we'll just put it, certain styles of death metal. You know.
it's that we've grown an acquired taste.
Yeah, well, I have a little bit of that too. I like a lot of brutal death metal, but I tend to lean more towards the riffy stuff, like Deeds of Flesh and stuff. I love that. Those old Deeds of Flesh records. Gorgasm's cool, but I the hip hop stuff is like, like, you know,
Yeah.
I that's I don't want to shit on anyone though, because
No, nor do I. I mean, because there's a lot of people that actually really like that stuff, and
yeah.
that's all well and good. I mean, I don't have to listen to it though, and nothing says I have to like it, but I'm not going to also.
It's a different world, really.
It is. Yeah,
There's a
without.
lot of different
Yeah,
worlds within metal,
yeah,
and
I agree with
so
that. Yeah.
you got
I
the you
like
got
that.
the
Simpler.
you got the long hair, leather, and spikes, and then you got the tilted sideways hat. Yo, yo, yo. That's the different factions.
Yeah, I mean, I remember many years past, it was a friend and I were out at a festival, and they said, "Man, that's way too many baseball hats, dude. Like, I can't watch this band."
So
And I
we've
was
entered
like,
we've entered the we've entered the silly part of the interview now, just like
"Oh yeah, no, this is turning into goof." Yeah,
just
but
shooting the shit.
it
Yeah,
was true though too, because it was like
yeah. It's
that's a
it's
lot of hats, man. I was like, I don't think I could watch this either. Yeah,
yeah, a lot of that. Doom, doom.
my thing always was this: if I have to go like this, that means I probably am not into the style. Yeah. Yeah. And I have friends of mine who I even played in bands with that were very much, that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they would say to me, "Hey, check out this band." And I'm listening to it. I'm like, and he's like, "But you don't like that?" And he's throwing his shoulder. And no, that's because
Yeah.
I was not making fun. I'm just saying, like, this literally is no, I can't do it, dude. Yeah.
Dude, this is gonna be the fucking like best interview ever, I think. Like just it's just real. It's just real. I'm gonna leave this in the video too. It's just like Man, dude, interviews are so formulaic most of the time. It's just like the same old questions over and over again. Just like
Yeah.
it's cool to just approach it like this, just like off the dome.
When an album cycle comes through, wait a minute. Are you gonna put this on the video too?
You know what? Let's talk about this when I stop recording. We'll come back to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you say that, we'll come back to it when we're done with the call.
Yeah, we'll worry about that another time. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll stop recording and you can tell me what you were gonna say.
Very good.
Yeah. That's what you gotta do that. That's how you gotta do it, man. I do that with YouTube too. You know, it's perfectly normal. If you don't realize that, then how are you human?
We barely are already.
Yeah. So I guess I guess we'll wrap up the interview thing because we're kind of getting into more territory of just like personal conversation now that people might not want to watch us just ramble about stuff like this.
I know I
So
wouldn't.
yeah, some people will though. There's a lot of people who like they like the I don't the banter or whatever. I don't know what, but yeah, we'll cut it off and just I guess I'll leave I'll just say like so to put my end of things, we have the Sadistic Malevolence demo coming out and God knows when because we have to wait on a
When
label
it
and but
does, when
but
it
here's
does, you better brace for impact, people.
yeah,
It's
thank you.
coming.
Yeah. It's gonna be good, I think. And the PSA that Chuck Sherwood, Charlie Corin, and Sasha Korowitz. Sorry with your last name, brother, but hard last name to pronounce. They're all on the demo with me, and like I said, coming out who the fuck knows when, because we gotta wait on the label. But that's Sadistic Malevolence, and then you want to like talk about all the stuff that people should look out for on all your other projects, like Season of the Dead and all the other stuff.
Um, Check out Season of the Dead. New Incan is in the works. Hopefully, I see you on the road. All my very best to everybody that's actually been supportive and involved with anything that I've been doing over the years. And I look forward to seeing you all.
Yeah.
And thank
Well,
you
yeah.
for all this time that you've been actually talking to me. And thank you for this interview, sir. And it's an
Oh, and thank you for
honor and
doing
a
it, man.
privilege to play on the Sadistic Malevolence. So I look forward to this just as
I
much as you
appreciate it,
guys.
man. Honored to have you.